Yeah. What's up, Vince?
Vince, what's going on?
What's up, Russell?
Yeah, I'm here.
It is, it's, oh wait, and we have a special guest tonight. Don't go anywhere. We have somebody.
Somebody else?
Yeah, stay. Somebody came just for you.
I don't know. No
You
idea.
got a dead body back there or something? I didn't see anybody in here. Stuffed animal.
It's Buffy Del Campo.
Oh, okay, what is that?
Buffy Del Campo.
Buffy Duncan. Yes, she's hot.
She, I mean, she's not.
What's up, the Geo Killer? Evan, Curtis.
I did see your video with,
How nice that is, all right? Look at the flowing blonde.
What's up,
hair.
George? Fubar. John.
Uncle Crystal making,
Templates?
templates.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I think of that? I was thinking patterns.
going on,
That's what
Brian?
she said.
Chris
No, she said
Barron.
models.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
So people are wondering what we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing something.
So I got that G-Tech. We did the video on that today.
I saw that too.
You saw that, right?
That was good, yes.
Which means that we're gonna be able to test out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ground's kind of terrible, isn't it?
Well, we have until the pavement temperature gets to around 45 degrees. Once it gets below that, it's just pointless, because it just becomes a skating rink. But if the pavement temperature stays around 50-ish, we should be able to take this thing out and actually, you know, with a burnout and some goo, we should be able to launch the thing and get some, at least 60 and 330 numbers. And then, once we have 60 and 330, then we can go to the eighth, then we go to the quarter. But not here, because we'll die. I'll die.
Yeah,
You'll die.
no,
Well,
not
somebody
here.
will die. So, anyway, what we're gonna do right now is, because we're gonna be testing on actual pavement, cross-weighting the chassis becomes super important. We have to not only establish what the actual weight of the car is, but we have to make sure that the weight bias, the resting weight bias, is to the right rear. So we have to make sure that, let's say, there's 700 pounds on the left rear, we have to make sure there's about 750 right rear. So we're gonna put the scales under the car, get a total weight on it, get a front to rear weight, but mostly we're gonna cross-weight the thing and make sure that we have more weight on the right rear, the passenger side rear, than we have on the driver's side rear. That make sense? I just confused myself. You know, I just make
I'm
this stuff up
confused
as we
too.
go along.
Do you?
Yeah, people buy it. I make up all this shit and they go
I
along.
would say that, because then your trolls will believe you.
I worked in a bakery until like 3 years before we started doing this.
Making bagels.
I didn't make bagels, I
Right.
worked in a bakery. I used to put the sprinkles on things.
Put the sprinkles on, now.
Then I says, you know what?
Now you.
YouTube, right?
We're gonna make up a bunch of shit about cars.
I'm gonna make a bunch of shit out of my cars. So what I do is I watch different videos, and I memorize what they say,
Yeah.
and then, right, and the next thing you know, here we are.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Bruce
Well,
W.
it's
says,
really
hey,
stuff.
it's Bruce from New Zealand. You got the G-Tech. He's the one that told you to get
New
it.
Zealand, I bet
Bruce
it's
from New
good.
Zealand is the guy who made the suggestion about the G-Tech. Thank you, man. That was the best idea ever. Because right now, like, everything is closed now. So we can either sit for the next, like, 4 months and do nothing, or we can actually make some shit happen. So that's what we're gonna do now.
I hope it's starting to warm up in New Zealand, because we got rid of all our warm.
I think everybody died from COVID in New Zealand.
No,
didn't they?
no.
Bruce, you the only
Oh.
survivor?
Okay, last time we weighed the car, there were a lot of comments, and I read them, and there was one or two that they were right. When we set the car down,
I know,
we
we
need,
didn't
we
roll.
need to naturalize the suspension,
Yeah, but-
and we didn't do that.
Because I didn't really care. We
Okay.
were testing on the track, and I knew we would have bike.
But if we're getting positions,
Now,
We really need to-
because we're gonna have no traction, marginal traction, we need to make sure that the suspension is actually set.
do you have any wood or something that we could, so we can roll back and forth? Or if we roll little bit,
Well,
several
the back-
times, it'll.
The back won't be a problem, it's the front. And the way we settle that out is just turn the steering wheel side to side.
And so-
We're in
Oh, yeah,
Tennessee,
no
zombie
problem.
killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you
Okay.
set the weights up, and I'll talk to
These
them.
aren't weights.
Oh, the other weights, this place is a mess, this is a pigsty.
I know this is a good, yeah.
Buffy Del Campo should not be in this kind of environment.
Oh, God. This is a nice shop compared to mine.
You had ice in Oklahoma the other day. Oh, sorry, Steve. What's up, Paul from Glasgow, Scotland?
Wow.
Very far away. Snowing in Ontario.
What is this?
It's wedged under there.
I was gonna pick it up, but it
It's
doesn't.
wedged under there.
What's up, Dakota? You're way in the car. That's what we're doing. If you're just tuning in. Did Uncle Crystal get her left and right straightened out? Yes, yes, she did, Vince.
No, look underneath.
I can see it from here. You need to go under. You need to come, yeah, there. Thank you. But you're too far to the right. Yeah.
What's up, Joe Jackson?
It'll be safe. I just need to get this out of the way so I can get this. Okay.
I gotta get it up high enough that you can get the weights, the scales under it.
I gotta get the scale in position, but not under it. And
So-
then we gotta zero everything.
Rashad is watching from Iran. Here in Iran, we have maybe 10.15 millibars.
What? We have what?
In Iran, we have maybe 10.15 millibars.
Oh, no, you're in Iran. Excellent. I know there's a big American car thing going on in Iran. People are into that type of thing. They guys got cruise nights and all that stuff. I've seen videos of it. It looks like 1975 here in America. It's awesome. Okay.
What's up, Diecast dude?
I'm gonna get Buffy water.
Yeah, she weighs a lot.
There's no fuel in the car.
But we have a passenger.
Well, I need to duplicate 2.5 to 3 gallons of gas.
How is the feed, guys? Is it all right?
Buffy.
Is it clear?
What's that?
I'm asking the guys if the feed is fairly clear.
Okay, where do I have, we need something that weighs about 20 pounds.
What's up, Robbie?
Put 2 gallons.
I didn't, maybe I could do that, a better photo, I don't know. Yeah, he's busy at the moment. You can ask about your Roadrunner in a little while, probably. Asking him questions right now is probably not gonna work.
I got 18 pounds on this flywheel. That's too much.
You need 12 pounds.
I need 12 pounds.
Looks okay, sound is good, buffering.
Really?
It's because Tony's moving so fast.
Well, this is back, I used to have to
What's
do
up,
this
Maren?
so that the bagels didn't burn.
What's up, Lazy Whole Ranch? So the bagels didn't burn?
You weigh them?
It sounds low? Okay, yeah, it's because I'm a little far away from them.
All right, that's 17 pounds, that's not good.
Okay. I'm trying to follow them, but they're moving crazy. I see Hulk Hogan walking around the
That's 15.
satellite. I must be dreaming.
I'm gonna call it 15 pounds, I'll throw this on top of the field.
He's like lightning, yeah. Okay.
I need shot towels.
Are you out of shock cells? No, I saw a
Oh,
roll.
wait, there's
Right
one
there.
over here.
How heavy is the driver, Tony? How heavy are you?
185 pounds.
Are you sure?
We'll find out when he gets in it.
I
Yeah,
don't,
we'll find out exactly what I weigh.
I don't think you're 185 pounds.
We're
What's
gonna
up, hey yo?
We're gonna find out exactly what I weigh.
I think you're probably close to 200. He's sighing.
Don't say that.
What does Uncle Tony do in a bottle rocket? Oh, you're a little blurry. Hang on. What do you do in a bottle rocket?
We're cross-weighting the chassis. We're, hang on, we'll show you.
Okay.
But we're gonna be doing test hits on regular
Blurry.
asphalt. So, hey, we really need to balance the weight on the car right now. And I'll explain that as we go along.
All right, I have to put the camera down for a second because I gotta
What,
take my
yes?
jacket off. No,
Oh, okay.
it's actually very warm in here. Does Uncle Tony play Xbox video games? No.
I don't have time to change
He
my
doesn't,
socks.
he doesn't sit still long enough to play video games. Vince says, I haven't seen under 200 since I was 17.
No,
I'm 55 now.
I max out at 200. I max out at 200. Actually, let me suit this jacket.
You're wearing your jacket?
Well, I'm all right, I'll take it off.
It's warm in here.
Well, Buff, it's gonna take Buff like probably 15 minutes to set this thing up.
Okay.
So I'll sit over here.
You gonna sit there?
I'll sit over here.
All right. So you want me to get the chair and,
You good?
okay.
It'll be me and Buffy dog camera.
All right, hang on, guys. Sorry it's a little blurry. I'm just moving around. I'll get situated in 1 second.
She won't
Give me my
stay.
coffee.
I gotta wait something under the back.
Her head is split.
What do you mean it's split?
It's got like a
that's
crack.
just- She's fine. We have matching helmets too.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
That's your old one. Okay, let's see. Hang on, I got the battery pack out of my pocket. Hang on, guys. Okay. Is that Uncle Crystal's head? No. No.
Buff, try not to disturb the dirt on that car. It's all strategically layered.
Aaron sent $5.
Thank you, Baron.
We are built Trump tough. Shout out to John Wilburn and aerospace engineer Buff Del Campo.
Space engineer.
I'm gonna move the camera, it's gonna be shaky. Okay. Is she on crack? No, John. Chris says, Uncle Tony's mine, 200 miles per hour, body 175, to do the parasitic loss. Tony walks really fast.
I do walk really fast.
Yeah.
I do everything really fast.
Yeah, we do everything
Which is one of the reasons people
really
are like,
fast.
you never show him working on anything. He doesn't work on anything. You couldn't follow me. I'm like a fucking blur.
It's true.
If the camera's going, it's like,
I'm gonna get you a GoPro to wear on your head. One day.
yeah, we're definitely gonna do that.
Yeah, that's the next thing I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
do.
I'm gonna do a live blindfold engine build. I'm gonna do it with the 383. I know that for it, I'm serious.
Mr. Nincompoop says, love you, Uncle Tony from Southern California.
Thank you, man. I love you too.
How you gonna read the plastic gauge?
What?
No, I'll make all the measurements ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
And it'll just be an assembly.
Here's he walks fast because he's on speed. He's not on speed.
No,
No,
it
they're
should be.
cigarettes. He's rolling cigarettes. Sighing. He's rolling cigarettes. Show him your tobacco. Yeah,
See?
it's
I roll my
Bugler
own.
tobacco. He
Which
rolls
is
his
why I
own
can be as old as
cigarettes.
I am and smoke as much as I do and not have any like negative side effects.
Let's see. Baron sent you $10.
Baron, you keep going, brother, man. You're awesome.
We are making hot rodding great again. Go support John Wilburn. He gets his hands dirty. He's a true American.
John Wilburn is an absolute true American. I talked to John Wilburn this morning. He's going to be building the transmission for our Slant 6 car. He's going to build a 904, and he's going to do it with like lightweight guts, lightweight internals. I have no idea what he's doing with it, but he says he can master this thing, and he's a transmission guy. So on that Dart, we'll be pulling the old motor out of it this week, but maybe even tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. We
No,
have
not
other
tomorrow.
things planned tomorrow.
What do we have planned? for
We have
tomorrow?
like 2 videos planned and
Oh,
then
shit,
something
yeah.
else.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. How
Not
did we come up with
tomorrow.
all of these video ideas?
I don't know. You do it.
I don't know how we do it. I don't know how we do it. So this week, I'll be pulling the old motor out of the Slant 6 Dart, the plain Z Dart, and then we'll start assembling that motor that's over there on the stand. And John will be getting the transmission together. So that's one of the things we're doing over the winter. I gotta do some welding and fabrication on that car, bad welding and sloppy fabrication on that car. We're rotted by the leaf spring now. And that's it. And this week, we'll drag bottle rocket out front and make some test hits with it and try out a new G-Tech.
Rally Chell says, to adjust crossbind, do you loosen all suspension bolts so the car relaxes, then tightens again?
You can't, oh wait, say that again now?
To adjust crossbind, do you loosen all suspension bolts so the car relaxes, then tighten again?
No,
No.
no.
Video on getting good gas mileage. When's that one coming?
Soon, she's been using that car for her daily transportation, so it's like,
Blame it on me.
well, no, I'm blaming it on you. I don't want to take the car out of service to do videos on it right now, but you're using it and it's,
Mike Johnson sent you $20.
Thank you, Mike.
Love the Axel video. Missed you last week. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Mike.
What Axel video?
Axel video. The Axel
You did
video.
a video on Axel's?
Love the Axel video. Didn't we? It's all a blur, Mike.
I don't remember. He's an Axel video.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you
Funny
did.
at 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all in there now, it's all together. No, it takes nothing to turn, you can't really compare. I used a crushed collar eliminator on it, on the 49, and like, I spent like literally like hours with the shims, you know? Because they send you a package of shims, and they go from like 50,000s to like 180,000. And I kept putting it together, taking it apart, putting it, I mean, countless times, until I had like zero movement and zero drag. So it's like, you could grab the drive shaft on that car and just go, wink, like that, and the wheels go like that. It's like, it's magic.
The doll head is creepy. Now that I'm looking at it, her eyes are super creepy.
Yeah,
They're
it's
like,
Buffy Del Campo.
like they're half closed. Get it off of there.
Want some coffee?
Oh, jeez. Oh. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about politics tonight, right? No.
No. other
Good
than-
luck, everybody.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about politics, other than to say that Trump has raised endurance to a whole new level. If you guys like, oh, you know, I'm old, I can't get stuff done, I can't, you know what I mean? No, your excuse has been completely invalidated by this guy. So, you know, get off your ass.
He has a lot of
and
energy.
get to work.
Yeah, it makes me feel lazy.
Seriously, it makes me feel lazy. I'm like, I sat down on the couch last night, and he had finished like his fourth
I don't know.
rally of the day, and I was like, I'm such a piece of shit. I can't believe I'm sitting on a couch.
The survivors will live in harmony. Yes, Benjamin C.
Total harmony.
What's the most reliable 8-cylinder engine?
The most reliable 8-cylinder engine?
Yeah. This is from a friend in Iran.
Okay, the LS.
We're set up.
The LS?
You need
The
more,
LS.
I guess I can do that.
What's that, brother?
I need to raise the front end a little, but then we're, same thing with that.
Well, you gotta take the jack stands out.
Low energy Tony.
Oh, yeah, I'm serious. I'm watching this guy, and I'm like, I cannot believe I need to work harder and longer.
Harder and longer. You don't need sleep. Nobody needs sleep.
Why doesn't this go?
Harley Hook one sent $10.
Sleep is for commies.
Tony. Harley Hook one sent $10. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Uncle Tony, you got me in the habit of calling my close friends brother man. Can you tell us where you got that term from? Love all your projects and thanks for sharing.
It's just a term from New York that just stayed with me, you know? I don't know.
I don't know where that's from either.
I don't know where it came from. I've been calling people brother man for, I don't know,
Decades.
generations now.
Generations.
I used to call everybody cupcake too.
Yeah, cupcake.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like if I got pulled over by a cop, I said, "What do you want, cupcake?" I was such an asshole. I'm not like that anymore.
Dakota says he's always called his friends brother man. What's up, Zero? And
Zero,
brother
what's
man.
going on, brother man? See? It worked.
Let's see. Tony, do you follow 318 Will Run? See all the Chinese Mopar junk he had issues with? Or didn't work? Make me think of the lifter issues you had.
I don't. I've seen the channel, and I've seen him comment on our channel. But I haven't seen any of his videos. You gotta understand this. There's hundreds of people with different channels that interact with us, and I just don't have the time or the day to But 318 will warrant. I will
We'll
take.
check it out. Baron sent $20.
Baron, you keep going, brother.
Thank
man.
you, Baron. He says, I swear I wish there were more Uncle Tonys as father figures in this country. People would get along much better. And by the way, Uncle Buff is my real uncle.
My kids wish they had a different father, to tell you the truth, but that's all right.
Well, it's different growing up with you as their actual father.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that on the ride over here. I told Kathy, that I am like, I'm zen
Tony's very tough.
I have unrealistic expectations of everybody around me.
Yeah, it's the truth.
you know, and I'll be the first to admit it,
Yeah.
you know, but that's cool. When, you know, if you sign on with me, just understand that, you know, I'm an asshole.
You're strict. You're
I am.
very strict. But people wouldn't really get that from you. Andrew Blair sent you $5.
Thank you, Andrew. But they don't get that from me because I don't work on it.
What do you mean?
They don't, like, I don't come across as somebody who'd be a bastard to work with or for.
Oh, you're a pain in the ass.
I am.
Yeah, it's very. There's times that I haven't wanted to work with you.
Oh, how many times have you stormed away from me? Like, I'm never talking to you
I
again.
can't work with you. No, there's times when I said I can't work with you.
And what times have you said I'm never talking to you again?
There have been those times as well.
You always manage to talk to me again.
I do. I do.
I'm dying to see what this car weighs now with this rear end. Buff, you want me to get any of that?
The pain in the ass guys will teach you the most. Yeah, that's true.
I worked for Jerry Carolina, that's all I can say. I spent like.
It's like being in the military.
Yeah, on and off, I
Yeah.
spent like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years working with Jerry Carolina, so
And it rubbed off on you a lot.
it did. Jerry taught me a lot. But hang on, Buff, I'm coming.
CJ Claiborne sent you $4.99. Thank you, CJ.
Access, yeah.
I guess I'm getting up. Hang on. I'm coming.
More?
Was Tony's son embarrassed when he got dropped off at school on a piece of shit dart?
Come on.
No. No. We have good kids. They're really good. They just don't want to be mechanics. What's up, 426 Rich?
What is this?
All right, I'm gonna back up here so we can get a bigger view without tripping on anything.
Yeah, Buff, tilt the car towards you a little bit. Push down on your side.
Push down?
Push down on your side.
You got it.
Now, hang on. And you come here and lift up on this side.
See, I'm not fat enough?
I'm not gonna try and get around the other side of the car, so there's no room. So we'll have to watch from a distance.
Just lift up on the quarter.
Yeah.
George Bonnie said, "I would killed to have a mechanic father growing up." It's different when you grew up with it, and you know kids always want to be different than their parents.
Jack it down.
You know how that works.
Okay, jack it down.
Wait a minute.
What's up, Uncle No Identity?
Yeah.
Look how filthy this car is.
All right. And you want to turn the
So let's
wheels?
do this.
Yeah, but it's not rolling. Needs to spread the,
Yeah.
Thank you, Fubar. We have new merch coming in like a day.
When you do this, you're gonna have to watch this suspension.
yeah, I actually did. I could see you do it. Okay. We should do it.
We're in Tennessee, Grasshopper. Just south of Nashville.
What do we got?
30,
What's up, Dog Deacon?
8.
3068.
Sitting there, bebopping around.
Let's see. What is it?
3,068 pounds.
I'm trying to. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's what the,
That's with, how much gas? 13 pounds or something?
there's 13 pounds worth of weight to simulate the fuel.
Can you get in the car?
I'm gonna
I
have to
want to
get
know
in the
how
car.
much you weigh.
You're gonna get in the car?
Yeah, I gotta get in the car.
Okay.
Can you see
Are you
that
taking
well
your
enough,
jacket
or
off?
do you need, or do you need some light?
No, I can see it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's pretty clear, right, guys? All right, Tony's getting in. Weighing again. Yep. You just changed the rear end. My Dodge Dakota is lighter. Oh, it's climbing like crazy, Tony.
What is it?
It's not settled out yet. Shut
Yeah,
the
you
door.
got it, sit still.
Shut the door.
All right, hang on. We roll down the window.
Rolling down the
Roll
windows.
down the window.
Don't move. 3263.
So I'm 195 pounds.
Yeah,
Okay. I could probably lose a little bit of that. But here's the big question though.
yeah.
On the rear end, what's the right side way, what's the left side way?
While you're in there?
Can you sit, Buff?
Barely.
We need more weight on the right rear.
Okay, rear.
726 right here.
726 right rear. 724 left rear.
So the car
Two,
is actually,
2 pounds difference from left to right.
all right, so now
What?
I want a little bit more on the right rear.
So how are you gonna do that?
I'm gonna crank up on the torsion bar on this side.
Be like the post office and drive from the other side.
Techno City says left front looks a little heavy. Left front is 872.
Hang on, but you
Okay, you
can't,
got brakes on?
you can't do that because I'm.
Out of the car.
Tony, you got brakes on?
No.
Oh, you don't have brakes? Well, I don't want you to crawl under there and the thing rolls and.
No, I'll just throw it in here.
We're in
Oh,
Murfreesboro.
can you reach it in there?
Michael.
Oh, put it in gear. I had an accident like that. I don't want to be around for another accident like that.
I had the helmet in here too.
Oh, no. Well, you'd be wearing that.
Yeah, look at styling that, right? That's snazzy.
Fancy.
Let me get some more, hang on.
So what are you doing?
I'm gonna jack up this torsion bar. And let me know when I got like another 10 pounds or so.
Okay, which is, hold on. Where do you want 10 more pounds?
Right rear.
708.
It's at 708.
I don't know, it's moving.
Now it's
He's
moving
moving it all
along.
over.
Yeah, I got it. So, what do we got now?
718.
718.
What was it before?
708.
Okay.
Man, that did that?
Yep. That is the magic of Mopar, okay?
Oh, isn't it nice?
If this was a General Motors tractor or Ford, you'd have to rebuild the front suspension.
You have to change the
Different
springs.
spring rates and the whole 10 yards. When you want to jack the weight on a Mopar, you just tighten the torsion.
Remember I
bar.
told you I put that little lightweight engine in that dart? And it was sitting way up nose high? I went over there that night, cranked it down, and
Yep.
it's perfect. Took me 2 or 3 minutes. It was
But that's the whole point of cross-weighting, because now, see what I did was, I increased the spring rate at this wheel, which means that the weight, so if you lift up on this side, or if you lift up on this right here, it goes down on that side.
And you didn't have to move it much.
No, I went approximately one turn,
Okay. Oh, and then you naturalized it.
and then I neutraled it out.
Okay.
So, and now on top of that, I have an air shock on the right rear. And so what the air shock will do, see, even though now the weight bias is that side, because the right side, okay, when you get up, when you hit it, okay, the right rear wants to come off the ground, the left rear wants to go down on the ground. So you bias the weight to the right rear. Then you need a damper, you need something to actually stop the reaction. And
So it
that's what we
doesn't,
put in.
right.
Right.
Spring will wrap up.
So that's what super stock springs do, they're arched 2 inches deeper on the driver's side, on the passenger side than on the driver's side.
And that's what you have here?
I have stock leaf springs, but I have an air shock
Oh,
on the right rear, and the air shock extends it that 2 inches. And when you tune it right, it'll equal the torque reaction to the front, so that the back of the car goes like this to dead level, and the shit can go. If you do this for the track with a low horsepower car like this, it doesn't make any difference because it's going to bite no matter what. But if you're trying to tune it for asphalt, this shit is critical. You know. So we're good.
okay.
You good?
What was that total weight?
Well, after nobody's touched it for a while, it's at 3067.
Okay.
And what do you weigh, Tony?
I weigh 195.
We'll weigh you when we go home.
You just did. That's more accurate than the scale of the
She wants to check your scales at all.
okay. Good job, Buff. You want to just roll the car off?
Oh, man, we did all that and we're gonna just take it right off, aren't we? That's how scales are.
Well, we can keep weighing things. If
We can just keep weighing it for now.
How tall are you, Tony? You're 5'10".
5'10", 5'11" on a good day.
Well, if we just roll it off, we're gonna have an accident. Because it'll smash into something. I don't know. You got enough room up there to roll it off without?
Tom Wilburn weighs 195 on the moon.
Yeah.
Funny.
So I'm confident with this, we got a chance of the car actually biting.
Got new rear end under it?
Yep.
Does it have a loop? Drive shaft?
I put a dry shift loop in it too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this car actually right now, this car.
Whoa!
There we go over the cord. Oh, well.
Ooh,
What'd you do?
that's good. Yeah, actually right now this car is NHRA and legal to go 1150.
Yeah, well, it's still 0. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so now I can clean up my mess.
But what a fine mess you made.
Yeah.
Tony, I was watching some of your older videos and didn't realize you were live.
Yes, I'm live. Hi.
What's up, Joe Jordan? Everything's okay. Everything is good. If Tony is 5'10", Buff must be really short. How tall are you, Buff?
Buff, he's probably about 5'8".
Me?
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
5'7".
5'7".
I'm gonna go sit down.
So I stand next to Dakota, I look like a kid. Remember Dakota's first words when he got here?
Was that?
Fuck, Dakota when he got here. Fuck, you sure are short.
Yeah.
Here, take your jacket so I can see it. Thank you.
You're a little short guy.
Buff says tall enough.
Yeah, so you guys are messing around with Mopars, go back and watch that again, because that's exactly how you set out the chassis on these cars.
You're nuts, Tony.
That's the big advantage. You can't do that with a Ford, you can't do that with a Chevy, you can only do that with a Mopar.
I'm gonna put this down. Sit down.
I'm looking for the back.
I'm looking for my coffee. I can't do this without coffee.
We've lost everything. We've lost tobacco, we've lost
Sorry.
coffee, we've lost all my self-respect. And
Never.
I've lost half my baking abilities.
No, you can still make bagels.
I got tobacco in the truck, right back.
Okay. He's leaving. Josh Line says, hey, Tony, loving your channel here in Houston. I don't know if you heard me, Josh. He ran outside. Let's see. I found your channel yesterday and have been binge watching your videos nonstop. Awesome. Thank you, Joe. 150 likes gets Dakota a timeout. Are we doing that to Dakota again, John? Is that a duster there?
No, I must have,
Dark.
I don't know where the hell it went. I had a brand new one.
You took it out with you.
It did, right?
Yeah, you grabbed it off the seat. Tell him again when he comes back. Okay, Josh, hang on. I gotta scroll up.
Oh, here it is.
Josh says, hey, Tony, loving your channel here in Houston.
Where is he?
Houston.
Houston.
Oh, careful. Are you all right?
Perfect balance. Like a lemur.
What's my favorite car in the fleet? Oh,
Favorite car? Probably the box truck.
that's your favorite car. What's my favorite
Oh,
car?
your favorite?
What is my favorite car? I really like the 68 Roadrunner.
Yeah. You don't
That's
want
probably-
bottle rocket?
I do.
How
But
come
I
you
don't
don't
drive.
want
I don't drive. I only fall in love with cars that I actually drive daily.
You can drive it.
I don't fall in love with a car unless I know it well. You know what I'm saying?
You can drive
Does
it.
that make sense?
You want to drive it? I'd rather you drive it than me drive it.
No, I don't want to drive it. I can't shift like you.
Yeah, you can.
No, I don't have the strength to shift like you.
You shift like a lemur.
Like a lemur.
Yeah.
Nice night for a fire outside. Let's see. Tony looks like Stephen Wright. Really? No. No. Can Tony do algebra?
I can't even spell it. I do very complex calculations on shit in my head, but I couldn't I couldn't express them in any way, written or otherwise.
Tony loves Bottle Rocket. Yeah,
I do love that car.
he really does.
Yeah,
Unstable. It's because I was moving around, trying to get situated. Sorry.
I think they're saying that you're unstable.
Possibly. It's always possible. Did Tony get another set of calipers? Yes. You did. You bought a new
Yeah.
set of calipers. Isn't tonight Sunday? Yeah. Why? What does it say in the title? Did I misspell it? Maybe. Maybe I did. Remember to set your clocks back. Didn't we do that last night?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, last night.
Somebody hasn't set their clocks yet?
Saturday. Does it say Saturday Night Live? It's supposed to say Sunday.
Does it really say Saturday?
It could, I don't know. Maybe autocorrect took over when I was putting it in. It's possible that that's what it says. Tony looks like a soldier of old.
Soldier?
Tony must think he's a cowboy rolling his own cigarettes. Are you a cowboy?
Oh, yeah. Yippee-ki-yay. Whatever it is.
Hey Yo says 68 GTX should have kept the car and dumped the wife. Oh. Let's see. We were punished with an extra hour of 2020.
Oh, God.
I'm getting the biggest kick out of this year.
It says Sunday. Oh, okay. Thank you, Standing Foot. What's up, Kurt?
I'm loving 2020.
Are you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we're getting through it. Is everybody getting through it?
It's been a good year for us. It's been a great year for Buff.
Joe Brennan says, hi, Tony, you rock.
You've dropped your.
Thank you.
Oh, did I? Thank you. Let's see. UTG, what's your dream car? Mine's a 67 GTX.
I don't really have one. I love the cars that I have.
I wish I had a 4-speed to drive daily. That's the only thing I wish I had. I love driving 4 speeds.
You do.
I do. It's like my favorite thing as a daily.
So we'll put a 4-speed in the swing up.
No, we have too much work to do. We can't do that. Can Tony explain why he likes the B-rods and a 451 stroker? Thanks.
Angularity. Angularity equals torque.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. Joel says, I have a 74 Duster. I'm putting up a 440 in it. Do you have recommendations for motor mounts?
Transat. The kit is like $67. And there's other people who make them, like TTI makes them, and they're like $4 or $5 million. Schumacher makes them, they're like $30 million. TTI, $67. No, not TTI, Transat.
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 Danny Boyd says, what's up with mixing radial tires with bias ply tires?
In what way?
I don't know. That's all it says.
I don't know.
That's all it says. 70 Duster 318 with 3-speed, yes or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
great daily driver.
Let's see. Joseph says, hey, Tony, you ever run the old dual quad tunnel ram for small block Mopar?
No, never had a tunnel ram with a small block motor.
Let's see. You had a 346 pack. Did you put it on something?
It's
Yeah.
all a blur.
Back when radials came out, they told us not to mix them, he says.
Oh, yeah, because they have different sidewall characteristics. They handle differently.
Tony, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I've never seen it.
You never
I've
seen it?
I'm not a movie
Not a
guy.
movie, yeah, not a movie person.
What's the last movie you went to see?
The last movie I went to see, like to sit in the theater,
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I know what the last movie I went to
it was
see.
long enough ago that I could sit down and have a cigarette.
Yeah,
I took my kid to see Pokemon 2000, and that was in 2000.
So, yeah.
So it's 20 years since I've been in a theater.
It's been about that long for me, too.
Robert Lee says, Uncle Tony, Nick at Nick's Garage gave you a big shout out on Friday. His viewers want to see a slanty on his dyno. You have a slanty project. You guys should get together when the border reopens.
Well, I mean, by the time the border reopens, the motor will be in the car and
Yeah.
running. So, you know,
Did Tony ever drive a car with a mix of those tires? I'll shut up now.
Oh, please. You mean like daily driven? I've driven cars with like 4 different size and style tires. I've driven cars with snow tires on the front. I mean, it's like, yeah.
Hey, Yo wants to know, what about that 67 Belvedere taxi in Arkansas? You know, we didn't even look at it. We've been so busy that we didn't even look. We forgot. Like, I need to take notes as I'm doing this. Otherwise, I forget everything. Where is Uncle Kathy? I'm right here.
Working the magic behind the screen.
That's right. Did Tony ever own a Japanese car?
Yes. We had a 1979 Colt, which was bulletproof. That thing was amazing. I bought it already beat to the ground. I drove it for like a year, beat it into the ground, gave it to the landlord's kid who lived in New York. This is like,
Yeah.
Right? Anthony, right?
Anthony, yeah.
Gave it to him. He drove it for a year, beat it to the ground. He gave it to his brother, drove it, beat it to the ground. As far as I know, that car is still going. It was amazing.
You think it's still going? I don't think so.
And then when we moved down here, I bought you a Tercel to scoot around with.
No, we had that in New York.
Go ahead, yeah,
And we drove it down
I came
here.
down first, but I left you with the Tercel.
Yeah. No, I had that car for a while in New York.
Did you?
Yeah, the blue Tercel. That ran really well,
Yeah.
actually. Let's see. Dances with Empty says, I got a 540 Merlin with a flat Tappa cam. Is there any advantage over a roller cam engine?
Advantage, no.
No.
No. Possible aggravation, but no advantage.
Let's see.
That car sits just right.
Love eating Mopars in my 427 Chevy, under $2,000 build. Nice.
Okay.
Those Colts are good little cars. Let's see. Would you run a 4-speed or 4-speed overdrive behind a 383 E-body? What rear gear would you recommend?
Okay, I have so Bottle Rocket here has a 4-speed overdrive trans. And actually, I saw a comment before, somebody was talking about gear ratios of transmissions. This transmission has a 309 first gear. It's the deepest of all of the 4-speed, the factory 4-speed boxes. It had a 410, and cruising, like in 4th gear, you put in 4th gear, it wasn't deep enough. So I would say start at 410, you could go to 456. I have a 4-speed overdrive in my 73 Roadrunner, and that's got a 321 gear in the rear. And that's almost undrivable in 4th gear on anything that isn't like the highway. Like you can't put it in 4th gear until you're up to around 75 miles an hour. So if you're using the A833OD, I would say minimum 410. You could go as high as as low as 456, and it'll be just right.
Okay. Buff is working hard back there.
Buff is working his little ass off.
Why do blower cars idle like they do?
You mean smooth like they do? Like because they got a big cam, so you would think it'd go up, but it doesn't. They idle smooth. Because the blower is actually pushing everything through. You don't get that low vacuum. When an engine with a big cam idles choppy, it's because it's low vacuum. Well, the blower, even idle speeds, is still pushing through, so you don't get that same.
What's up, Delta Tech? Let's see.
Buff,
Popeye.
Looking for a place to put trash.
Popeye wants to know.
Here, just pile going over there. The pail is
Just
full.
put it in
Hold
the
it up
pile?
front. Well, there's a pile there right now. There you go.
Popeye wants to know, how much scratch did that new GPS box set a guy back?
$300.
Does that shift?
Yes. And I'll tell you, definitely worth the. So people ask why I didn't get the draggy.
Move the paper towels out of Buff's way. He's blocked.
You're blocked by the shop tools.
Yeah.
And I got home.
Yeah, you got a home. Nice.
Well, you keep the home.
I was gonna put it some nice.
That
place.
paper towel's blocking. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Okay.
The draggy is like $100 cheaper, it's like $150, $160, whatever it is, but it uses the phone on top of it, and I wanted something that was just self-contained.
Where did I put my phone? It's in my
I actually try not to carry my phone when I'm doing interesting things, because I don't want to be disturbed.
Which reminds me, turn my ringer off before some fool calls.
Like Baron?
Oh, it could be Baron too.
Any advice for getting off a stubborn pinion nut?
You tried heat, you tried impact gun,
What was the question?
you stubborn pinion nut.
Oh,
Geez. I mean, there's all different ways. You're not gonna get it by like putting a bar on it and like standing on the bar. It needs a hammering thing, like, from an impact gun to actually get it off.
Russell wants to know, Buff, what did the scales cost? What did they go for?
and I bought those in November of '07, and I paid $1,000 for them.
Yeah.
Like almost $1,100.
What did you buy those for?
Weighing airplanes. I
Oh.
used 3 of them. Yeah, and weight and balance airplanes pretty critical, So I used to go around and weigh airplanes for people that built airplanes, and because most of them didn't want to do their own weight and balance.
It certainly doesn't look like it weighs 3,068 pounds.
And all that steel.
Right? That car, I love everything about that car.
South Jersey Jim says, yo, Uncle Tony,
Yeah.
would you ever use a stud girdle on a 440? And would you ever use one on a 400 bottom end?
I haven't, because I haven't built, the only engines that I've taken to like real, extreme horsepower are Hemis. The stud girdles that they have, all right, you have two different types of stud girdles, or two different types of girdles. You have the type that actually supplement the main saddles. So, and you can't use those on an RB style, on a big block Mopar style, because it's a deep skirt. But you'll see those like on early Hemis. They had the girdle that would actually saddle over the 3 center mains and support the saddles that way. The kind of girdle that you're talking about doesn't do any supporting, right? All it does is keep the caps from walking. They're not really effective unless you're talking about sustained high RPM with high harmonics. So basically, if you're running over 6,000 RPM, 7,000 RPM for a sustained period of time, and in a situation where you're dealing with detonation, bad harmonics, not necessarily rattling detonation, but sharp compression blows or combustion blows, then they will keep the caps from walking. But for like a street and strip or a drag racing application, no, they're utterly, completely pointless.
Jay Allen says, hey, uncles, need a segment on compressors for the home/shop. What do you guys use to include sanding and painting?
Oh, man. Every compressor I get is not big enough.
Really? I got a 60
I
gallon
got
at the house.
I got a 17 with 22 little things that'll hurt your ears because it runs.
Yeah.
Well, I've had it since I bought that when I bought the scales, '07. So it's good enough, like if you're running a wrench or something that doesn't run very long. But if you're sanding like with a DA, it runs down quickly.
Yeah, you need a
I
minimum.
need a big tank.
60 gallon if you're gonna run air tools all the time. If you're just gonna do stuff like paint or like run an impact gun, like just get wheels on and off, then 20 gallons is fine.
Yeah, I got a little 3-gallon one that I use for my rivet gun, but a rivet gun only goes 2.
Yeah.
That's it, and it keeps up with that just fine. But as soon as you hook a paint gun to it, it's like
Yeah,
out
it
of
depends what
business.
you're using it for.
Hey, Yo says he sent me the info on that car on Messenger. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. I'll go back and I'll check it.
Well, you
That's
gotta
67.
explain. You get
Yeah.
how many messages a day?
Yeah, I get a bunch of
Your phone
messages.
just goes ding,
It goes
ding,
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 ding.
ding, ding, all day long.
And every time he goes to ding, Tony's like, your phone made a noise.
When I-
So
when I
it's
text
like
you-
doubly annoying.
When I text you,
Yeah.
which is always on Sunday,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I know it's going to be a while before you respond.
Yeah, because I'm
You're
usually busy.
Busy, and you got texts, and I know that.
She's always, her and Dan Bongino, she's always texting back and forth.
Fucking
with
Dan
Bongino for some reason. Oh, please.
Wayne Ferguson, oh, wait, I lost it. Wants to know, any ideas, Tony, on modifying a crappy designed LH E-body header that runs under the steering arms?
left hand, oh, I know the header you're talking about, they suck. Yeah. Mm, Not offhand, there's not much you can do with that.
Good night, Rally Chow.
I mean, I got them on that car.
Yeah. Where are his Uncle Kids? Which ones? Uncle Crystal? Is there a good formula for weight to horsepower, considering center of gravity and tire width?
Center of gravity is very important. You know, I should do a whole video on that. The CG and the relationship between the center of gravity and horsepower. Is there a formula? I'm sure there is. But somebody who's much better versed in that sort of thing would know it. I know what the formula is. I know the rules of thumb, right? And we're gonna do a video on that for sure.
Okay. I need a pay increase, yeah. Let's see.
I could do that real quick though.
You could?
Yeah,
What,
because the
the
car is
video?
behind us.
You're gonna do it now, or you're gonna do a video on it? Do a video on it so then everybody can see it,
I'll
right?
do a video on it, but I'm gonna give him a quick explanation.
Okay, that means I gotta get up.
Is that
All right.
cool? No, you have to get up, just turn around.
The scales.
Well, I'm
No, no,
hooked
it's
up
all
to a
right.
battery pack. All right,
Here.
hang on, guys.
Real simple, okay? The lower the horsepower of the car, okay, the higher you need to have the center of gravity. So this is a relatively low horsepower car. So in order to get it to transfer back, you need to have center of gravity as high as possible. Center of gravity on a passenger car is always right about here, okay? That's not talking about Corvettes or anything like that. That's talking about typical traditional American, passenger car. Center of gravity is going to be right about here or right about the driver's knee. On a low horsepower car, this is a low horsepower car, you need to have the center of gravity, the rocker should be at or above the axle center line. And the reason you do that is because as the car moves forward, all of the weight wants to transfer back over the axle. Now, as you go higher horsepower, you have to start dropping it because as the car accelerates, the weight above the axle, above the center of gravity, wants to transfer back harder. So the more horsepower, the higher horsepower you go, the lower the car has to be. And you use that, the relationship is going to be between the center of gravity, the lower frame rail, and the axle center line. Until you get to, like, let's say a Pro Mod car, where a Pro Mod car has almost all of the weight under the axle center line, right? That's what keeps, if you look at a funny car, okay, look at a funny car is a perfect example. The body is all high up in the top, or in the back, but the body doesn't weigh very much. The whole car is under the axle center line. They use the tire that brings the axle center line up to here, and the chassis comes down like this, and the motor is down here. And that's because at that power, as the car is driving forward, all of that weight wants to go under the axle center line, and the negligible weight that's above there, which would consist of, let's say, the valve covers, the blower, the driver's upper torso, that's the weight that's getting transferred back. So when cars are balanced correctly, when they have the weight down low enough, they don't even need a wheelie bar. Whereas the car is actually trying to drive over the center of gravity, and that levers the front end down. But for cars like this, you want to have... We should have done this as a video.
I told you to make a video. You're gonna have to make a
Why
video.
didn't we make a video?
You're gonna have to make a video.
I'm gonna make a video, but I'm gonna use a car. I'll use a model car to show. Okay,
Yeah?
I guess, yeah. Did that answer your question? I hope. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. Umberto says, Tony, I've got my Roadrunner jacked up like a dog in heat. 3-inch springs and running a 440 horsepower motor. Is this good or bad?
I don't know. I don't know. If you got that whole stink bug stance, probably not. Because it means the suspension is gonna be working right.
Okay. I'm trying to stabilize myself. so I can sit down. All right. Ah. This is why Kathy needs a pay increase. Am I getting a pay increase, Tony?
Yeah, yeah,
Am I?
yeah, Buff is supposed to submit it to corporate.
Corporate?
Corporate.
Corporate.
Funny. Alex says, I'm sure you've answered this question at least 100 times, so what would you recommend as an affordable Mopar for a project?
Four-door darts, Valiants, you can still buy them dirt cheap. You need a cheap Mopar. Yeah,
Some things I need to take care of first.
okay. And then let me
426B says, whoosh, you might wake. Are you falling asleep, Buff?
No,
Oh.
he's already fractured.
no, this is my fun night of the week. Come down here, get away from the house, get away from the cats. Don't have to clean the cat box for like 3 hours.
Nice.
Nice. We're gonna go home to piss and shit everywhere.
Wow.
No.
No?
They were out before we left.
Okay.
No. Who is the quiet and shy guest of honor? That head is creeping me out, Tony.
That's Buffy Belcampo.
Oh my god. Is that a wig or is that sewed into the plastic?
That's part of her whole,
So I
It's like
can't
one
wear
of
that
those
wig.
Barbie makeup heads. You know, you do the hair and the makeup.
Ah,
Let's see. UTG, what happened to that late 60s Barracuda you had in your shop? I just scored a 68 fastback.
the owner of the car and I had two different visions. He kept changing his mind as to what he wanted with the car. And unfortunately, he changed his mind to things that were beyond what had already been done to the car. So, it's back, he's my neighbor. So it's back in his hands and he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do with it. I don't have time.
who is it just got the 68 Cuda, Barracuda?
Who was it?
Yeah,
I gotta scroll back up. Hang on.
that's just my favorite Mopar. 67 through 9 Barracuda.
Mopar Benny.
Wait, let me go back
Mopar
and
Benny.
clarify because I was very vague about that. Originally, he said he wanted the car to be certain things, to have certain qualities to it. So I built the car, I set the car with all of those qualities. Then he wanted a different set of qualities which clashed with the first set. And then we were supposed to do the body and paint on the car also. Well, the body work, and he was gonna have the car painted, you know, the finished body. He was gonna do the finished body work and have it painted. So I was just gonna weld the metal in and rough it in. And they got impatient, and they were like, want it done, want it done, want it done, want it done. And I was like, look, you can't work with this metal. It's metal, the quarter panel shot, the front fenders were shot, everything was shot. So, and like I said, at that point, he had completely different ideas and expectations than I did, so we decided he's gonna finish the car as well.
DJ Shea says, hissing sound coming out of the passenger side of my small block Chevy towards the rear of the motor. Sprayed carb clean and soapy water around the area and no luck finding a vacuum leak. Any idea what it is?
You're not gonna find a vacuum leak with soapy water. That's to find
Yeah, pressure the other direction.
pressure, we're going the other way. Vacuum leak, I mean, you could take some carb cleaner, right? I mean, I use gasoline, don't use gasoline, it's dangerous, right? But I use it because that's all I've ever used. So
Brake clean.
I take a squirt bottle, you can do some brake clean. But yeah, keep your face clear just in case you got an arcing spark plug or something like that, a spark plug wire. And just spray something flammable around the general area where you hear the hiss. Don't get carried away with it, and like, just keep your face clear.
Pull a vacuum line out, shoot some smoke in there from the smoke machine, or if you smoke, and it'll come out.
That's possible too.
Let's see. 318 will run says, hey Tony, I like the G-Force contraption you bought. Maybe I need to invest in one.
I think, you know, I can't wait to actually like put it to use.
We should take it to rent that track time that's near us so that we can just go and spend the day with it.
What do you mean?
The track that's closed over there, you can do rentals.
Oh, and the
Lebanon, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you can do private rentals.
We gotta look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Because out here, in front of the shop, I've got an 1/8 mile that's usable. I don't know if I really want to go that fast at that end of it, But we can definitely do 60s and 330s out here, like till the cows come home. And those are the important numbers. If you've got a good 60 and a good 330, then the rest of the run just falls into place.
I'm gonna call them and find out about that. Because they are open, but, you know, for private stuff.
They used to call you Mr. 330.
Mr. 330.
Yeah. No, they didn't?
John Wilburn says, Tony, if you rent a track, I'll chip in. You wanna come, John? Let's see.
It's not a drag strip. You gotta understand, it's not a drag strip, so it's not like this kind of a prep surface. It's a circle track.
But they had it, like, they were running,
They were running a drag strip on the pit lane.
right,
We'll look into that. We'll look into that.
okay.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I know that they have it open for rental. Let's see. Frogs.
Look how good that car sits. Look at that. It's perfect.
You love that car.
I love that car.
UTG track day. Yeah, that would be good. Joe Christopher says, hi from Buffalo, New York.
What's going on, Joe?
It's snowing up there?
Saludos de Mexicali.
Not only do I love that car,
And to
I love the idea of that car.
Somebody from Mexicali?
Saludos de Mexicali. Am I saying that right?
Well, Mexicali is a city.
Saludos
Just-
de Mexicali. I have a terrible accent.
I used to live near there.
Let's
Shop
see.
is filthy.
Uno Zapato says hose clamps. UTG, what's your go-to for hose clamps in OEM style?
In OEM style, bullnose clamps?
Hose
Yeah, what
clamps.
did they have? Did they have the ones that had the two?
Yeah. Chrysler
Yeah,
has
that's what I thought.
bullnose clamps.
Oh, that's what you call those, okay.
I don't use those.
You know how many of those I threw away?
Yeah, I have a stash of them. I have like a coffee can.
I shouldn't have thrown those away.
I got a coffee can. It's full of things, but I never use it.
Rambert says, Tony, do you think prices will ever go back to normal pre-Barrett-Jackson prices again for muscle cars?
No.
I bought a month
When we're all
by
dead and gone.
70 CUDA in 99 for 7,000.
Yeah. No. No, because
I mean, 7,000, sorry.
There's a
7,000.
global demand for those cars. And the important thing you understand is that wealthy people, like really wealthy people, they don't store their money, you know, okay, they keep their money at work, right? So they keep their money in various markets and so on and so forth. But they take some of it off the table and they park it in commodities. So whether it's gold or silver or antiques or paintings, or they park it in things that have intrinsic lasting value. And the traditional American cars, you know, from that era, and the muscle cars specifically, fall into that category. So that's what you've got. You've got wealthy people that are taking their excess money, you know, that isn't at work, and they're parking it in those cars the same way people, let's say 100 years ago, would buy Renaissance paintings, or they would buy, you know, special furniture or whatever it happened to be. Muscle cars fall into that category. So no, you are not going to see things go back to normal, you know.
Well, they did come down a lot. I saw a 63 Dodge Barrett-Jackson go for over $500,000. 63 Dodge, two-door with a gentle handle. Just insane.
Yeah, that I don't understand. I could see a 63 Max Wedge car going for that. You know,
Just
but I couldn't see a Gen 3 Hemi type.
Barron sent $10. He says, I would like to call in.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that Barron?
He spent $10, go let him call in.
Yeah, it's him.
Barron's here,
It says
everybody.
connecting.
It's the Barron hotline.
Good night, John
There it
R.
is.
What's up, Bob?
What's up, Barron?
Hi, Captain.
What's
We
going
have,
on?
two special guests I would like to bring onto your show tonight to show support to your channel.
Okay.
Okay.
So please welcome them, 45th of the United States of America, First Lady Melania Trump.
Yeah?
Oh, look at that.
We're going to be supporting the Hot Rods Great Again.
God, Russ.
Making hot rods great again.
Even I'm talking about days. Hello, everyone on this channel. You need to support John Wilmore. He's a true American.
True
He's
American.
a true hot rodder. He knows how to do things, and you know what? He's old school like Tony. So just like our grandparents were back in the day, taking things apart, fixing it by hand, knowing what works and what doesn't. That's the way to go about it. That's the way to go about it. So all the haters out there and everything, Brian Cabral and others that spew hating stuff, keep on hating. make money off of it, because that's the big American dream. We need haters, it gives us more motivation.
That's
That's
true.
what I want
It's
to
true.
leave you with, my fellow American people, and keep up supporting Uncle Tony. This is Big B signing off. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
everyone.
Baron.
Thanks, Baron.
Thanks, Baron.
Robbie
Yeah.
D. Durham sent $5.
Thank you, Robbie.
Tony, do I really need to put the headers on my 78 362 barrel? Last week you advised me to add 4-barrel curved distributor cam and headers.
Yes.
Yes? He
I
really
would
needs to
go
put the
with-
headers
I
on?
would go with headers. I mean, as long as it's within your budget, you know what I mean?
He lets me know if he
you-
really needs to.
If you really need to, the 360 has a pretty generous exhaust manifold, they all did. If you're using like a 318 type of manifold, no, don't do that. And that was one of the things I should have done when I did the daily driver, when I did the swinger, I used 318 exhaust manifolds. And I should have used a set of 360 manifolds. But that's besides the point. It's not, the car isn't built for speed, it's built for quiet, reliable drivability. But yeah, if you've got original 360 exhaust manifolds, you can get by with them, but you would definitely see a benefit with headers.
@Zero is now a moderator.
Zero's a moderator.
Yeah, he says, hey Kathy, can I be a moderator
What's
already?
taking so long?
Since Ari is busy most Sundays.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, who's been a moderator for
Since zero.
yeah,
Since zero.
I gotta clean this shop. This place is just.
Everything is a mess.
Get your shop vac.
Oh,
Do
please.
something so it doesn't blow out the back end.
No, it's toast. There's a ball that's supposed to get
Yeah.
sucked up into a cage, and it's all eroded out, so it doesn't
Yeah.
work anymore.
Yeah, so it's no longer a vacuum
It's
cleaner.
good for liquids. If
It's
you have a liquid spill,
Oh.
you want to pick it up.
Dakota thinks he should be a moderator as well.
Dakota moderator?
That would be fighting constantly. They'd be hiding each other all the time.
Dakota's timeout as a moderator.
Wouldn't it be great?
When he turns 18,
Dakota's awesome.
you gotta make it.
His whole family is awesome. They
Oh,
came
yeah.
down here. Guys
Josh
were on
says,
radio.
Kathy, please find my question. I'm looking, Josh.
Dakota came down here with his family, I guess it was about 2-3 months ago, and did a Sunday Night Live with us, and they were awesome people.
Yeah, very. Let's see. I can't find Josh's
Has it
question.
been that long? Yeah, it has.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's supposed to be
Ask
27
again,
degrees
Josh.
Fahrenheit here
Tonight? Well, my
Man.
garden is finished then.
Hmm?
My garden is done for them.
Yeah, I gotta get my plants inside, the ones that come in.
Thank you, Zero.
The heater's gonna be in the way now.
Mark Shaw says I should be a mod. I'm here every Sunday. Are you, Mark? See, I got nominated by Barron, Dakota says. Everybody wants to be a mod. Okay, if there's another opening, we'll let you guys know.
Look how perfectly the press is.
Barron sent another $10.
Thank you, Baron.
What type of whiskey you want, Tony? I'm bringing it for you.
I don't drink, brother man.
When are you coming here, Barron?
I mean, I'll drink with you if you come down for a night, but
Oh, boy.
don't bring me anything.
Ramberto sent
What do you drink?
$5.
What's that, like a half a shot?
It doesn't take much, because I mean. I
He
don't-
falls asleep. You don't
I
want to
fall
drink with
asleep.
Tony. He lays on the couch and falls asleep.
That's what happens to me when I drink. I'm out.
Me too. Ramberto sent $5.
Thank you,
He
bro.
says, Tony, I finally, after all these years, found the crucial item in my first engine build, 2-liter soda crates to hold pistons. Thanks for all you do, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
What was that noise?
Yeah, something
Something popped.
popped. It's cooling off. It's shrunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this
Oh,
whole
it's your
thing-
heater. Tony got a heater.
I got a heater.
He got
I
a little
Mr.
timer
heater.
thing and a heater.
Mr. Heater.
Yeah,
You ever seen Mr.
125,000 BTUs.
You ever seen Mr. Funnel?
No.
There's a thing called a Mr. Funnel. And the airplane guys have them. You can pour gasoline and water together in there, and only gasoline goes out the other side.
Yeah.
It's really a cool thing. It's really good.
See, I bought that one there because you can run it on kerosene, on diesel 1, diesel 2, pretty much anything that burns you can throw in there.
Does it smell bad or stink the place
No,
up?
not at
It's
all.
good. 'Cause I
Don't
wanna
kill
look-
yourself with it.
look
Make sure you have
something like that.
ventilation.
When you first fire it up, like any other kerosene heater,
Yeah.
you'll get a smell. But then after
That's
it's
it.
been running for about 10 minutes, nothing.
Jake wants to know, Tony, did you go to the Nostalgia Drags at Beach Bend Bowling Green?
This year? No, I didn't even think they had it this year.
Yeah.
I went like 2 or 3 years in a row. I was working with the Backyard Guys Top Fuel car, and then they stopped. Well, they gave up, and then they stopped having like that bigger open top fuel meet, so I just stopped going.
Okay, Josh says, what is a happy medium hydraulic lifter preload setting? How many turns? Cheers.
You want about 20 thousandths of an inch. I couldn't really tell you how many turns it is. Go to zero lash. Go to zero lash and then go between a quarter and a half turn beyond zero lash, and that'll give you about 20 thousandths of an inch preload.
That's initial? Because you get a lifter, there's like some amount of oil in, I guess, from assembly, but,
Oh, it won't matter.
okay.
It won't matter. It'll pump up and just reach that level.
Please get the set of vertical headers off eBay for the Gambler build.
No, I want that car to be drivable. It's gotta be completely drivable. So
Can't have like zoomies out the hood or something.
No. It's gotta be completely 100% street legal and drivable anywhere, anytime. So it'll have, actually, I got a 2 3/4 inch exhaust with a set of Flowmasters in the back, and we'll put that on there with a set of headers.
Yeah, Zero, I made you a mod. You're a mod.
What's your plan for doors?
I got the doors.
Oh, off that car?
Yeah, I took them off so we could do the
Oh,
fabrication
okay,
and welding.
okay.
Yeah.
When are we gonna see that 1970 Mercury Cyclone Aero car? Which one's he talking about?
That's the one over at your friend's house that has all the wing cars and
Yeah, we
the...
did a video
We
on
did that. We did
Yeah, go
that.
back and look at it. We did it. We
They're
did the
up.
2 Mercuries in the same video.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So here's the Baron.
We make a lot of videos.
And I
We
don't
made
miss them,
too
so-
many videos.
Too many videos.
We have to make less videos.
Maybe. Let's see.
Who's yapping at hell? I see you're alive.
You're alive?
That ain't home in a van. That's my friend he works for the railroad.
It's cold over here where I'm
So I
sitting.
guess he's watching on his phone.
70 Torino King Cobra, he says.
You did that
We
video?
did that video.
That video got good views. The video's got like 450,000 views.
What?
Yeah, the King Cobra.
Yeah, we're a big YouTube channel, Bob.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
a big YouTube channel.
Not really.
You still haven't done the Corvette, have you?
He's got a show.
Oh, that's right. He's got shields all polished up.
Yeah, the car's all like prepped for the
Yep.
show, but as soon as he's done with that, we'll take it out. And we'll put the G-Tech on it and see what the damn thing does.
So can I tell Zero that he won something?
Yeah, what did he win?
Well, he won what's coming in tomorrow, but we're not going to tell him what it is because it was his idea. So it's a secret.
What's coming in tomorrow?
What did we order?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
What did we order?
New Hellcat?
No.
I don't know what we ordered. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, Zero. Yeah,
He
that
had
was Zero's
something.
idea?
Yeah, that was Zero's idea.
Yeah, Zero, you got a cool thing coming.
Mm-hmm. He says, hey, boss, kid I work with has a drift car. We'll have a UTG sticker on it tomorrow. Cheer to the build. Anything race everything.
Nice. I'd love to have a drift car. That's what you gotta build, Buff. Build a drift car. I can see you out there with all the...
Oh, I know. I could go crazy. You know, it's like sprint cars. I went crazy with it one time, and I just spent all my money. Can't do that.
No, you can't spend money on these freaking drift cars. The whole point of it's all cheap. They build these things as cheaply as possible. You know, the
Once I
kids,
see
they
you.
build them. Not
Because
you know,
I see your guys have got a lot of money.
You forget the stuff that's on TV. I've met a bunch of drift kids. They're cool. They got a very cool thing going. I don't quite really understand it, but it looks like a lot of fun, and I would want to be part of it. Just like this dirt thing. I don't really quite understand it, but it looks like
We can do it anyway.
a buttload of fun. So that's what we're gonna do.
Larry says, give us some A-body suspension tips for handling, building a road racing Plymouth Duster.
You're totally asking the wrong guy.
Yeah. Jake says, Tony, on an 88 Mustang Fox body, T5, does it have to have roller bearing, pilot bearing in the crank?
Yes, no, wait,
What's he talking about?
Do you want me to read it again?
yes, it does, because on a T5, right, the input shaft on a T5 is not long enough to go into a piloted crank.
Okay.
So it needs to have the external roller.
Oh, I don't even know about this, okay.
Oh, Mopar Man says you were going to show the Mercury equivalent to the King Cobra Torino.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I have to get together, that's in a museum in,
Okay, that's the one, yeah, what's that called? It's called a Cyclone Spoiler?
yeah, Cyclone Spoiler 2.
Yeah, that one's not local to us.
That one's not
We have
local
to
us.
travel
We-
for that.
We will get together with him and get out there. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I didn't realize that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Let's go back to this T5 and the Mustang again. What transmission, when you bought, like, I had an 89 Mustang for a while. It had a 5-speed in it, just stock, factory car. What is that? What is that transmission?
That should have been a T5.
Well, okay, I never had it apart, I just assumed it was all pilot, so there's another bearing in there.
How's the Duster running? Any more plans for it?
Doctor one's perfect. No, it's just sitting in the backyard.
I never knew that. Never took it apart.
Well, I mean, we'll go buy one now, take it apart.
Mopar Fluent wants to know, did you ever meet Bob Glidden before he died? He's famous for porting cast iron heads that could outperform anyone.
Yes, I was actually named in a $30 million lawsuit between Bob Glidden and the IHRA in like 1989.
Funny story, huh?
Funny story, yeah, you had to be there.
Doesn't sound funny.
You had to be there, yeah.
Yeah, he met him. They met.
And it hated me, oh my God.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, because
What,
of what
'cause
you
were doing
did.
the same thing?
No, it was a magazine thing.
Oh,
Now you're gonna have to explain. Story time. You should probably explain.
I should probably explain.
Yeah.
I used to do a magazine called Drag Racing Illustrated. So, forgive me if I don't remember all of the details, because this is 30 years ago.
Do we still have the tapes?
Well, that was what kept us out of trouble.
Yeah.
The fact that we had the tapes. It was at the IHRA Northern Nationals, and I knew Glidden just from coming and going, right? So they pulled him out. What happened was they suspected he was spraying the car, right? That he had nitrous. And the story was that he had it built into the hood scoop of the car, and the activation was through the hood pins. This was all laminated into the fiberglass hood of the car. And this system existed because I've seen it in other cars. I didn't see it in Glidden's car, but that makes no difference. So,
What year is this?
1988, 1989, whatever it was, all right? So, I was doing Drag Racing Illustrated magazine at the time, and we did the story in Drag Racing Illustrated magazine. Like, I'm sure somebody out there has a copy of this, and so what happened was, Glidden got pulled out for inspection. All of the other guys, the other 16 qualifiers for Pro Stock, the other 15 qualifiers, said that if they were going to inspect him, if they were going to tear him down, they were going to have to tear down everybody. They were going to boycott. So, long story short, they all decided not to boycott, and they all showed up Sunday morning to run. Glidden, on the other hand, had his car in a trailer, because he, as far as he knew, they weren't going to run at all. So I sat down and I says, Bob, you want to do an interview? He says, you want to do a thing for the magazine on this? He says, yeah. I says, all right, well, I'll tell you what. And it was with Norman Blake, and I put the tape recorder down. Back in those days, we worked with tape recorders. I put the tape recorder down and I said, Bob, tell the story, and then after they were done with it, you know, we'll go through the tape, and anything you don't want in the tape, we'll edit out, okay? So he says, no, if I say it, I want it out there, right? I said, all right, fine, no problem, man. So he goes on for about 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes. And he's explaining how he was getting the shaft and how these other people screwed him and how his exact words were, and he's talking about his competitors, I wouldn't give them the sweat off my balls if they were dying of thirst. So I says, after this is all done, I says, Bob, I says, I'm going to play this tape for you, and anything you don't want in there, he said, he stopped me, he says, no, I said it, you print it. I says, you got it. So we ran back to New York. We were right on deadline. Actually, we held the magazine back so we can get this race in there. And instead of coverage of the race, we did the Glidden interview, and he did all of this explaining of what happened. So the magazine hits the stands. I get a call from Bob. He says, I can't believe you ran that story. I says, Bob, I have you on tape saying if I said it, you print it. And he hangs up on me. So then, yeah. So then what happened? He sued the IHRA. It was a $30 million slander lawsuit. And he named me as one of the co-conspirators in this slander. But again,
But he sued the magazine too.
he sued the magazine, he sued the
publisher.
publisher, he sued me. Wanted to. Wanted to. So I called him back and left a message on his voicemail, and it's his answering machine. Back then it was no voicemail, his answering machine. But he says, Bob, I have you on tape saying if I said it, you print it. I says, done. It's a done deal. And that was it. So nothing ever moved forward with the lawsuit. And as far as I was know, it was like water under the bridge. So a couple of months later, actually it was the next season, I was walking through the pits and I was like, okay, well, this is the money. I had completely forgotten about it. And I was like, man, they were like, I mean, like Ed was shooting like lasers out of her eyes at me, you know.
Oh.
Bob wouldn't, like I walked up to Bob, you know, I was like, you know, everything good? And he just like turned away and he walked away from me. And it was like the last time I had any communication with him.
Well, things happen.
So yeah, that's the Glidden story.
Zip ties and bias play says I'm naked.
Nice. Buff is not naked.
No.
And that's all that really counts.
John Wilbur wants to know, was this in Superstock and Drag Illustrated?
No,
What year? 88? I want to read this.
it was in Drag Racing Illustrated magazine. It was Harris publication, and it was, I don't remember the month.
Was it Harris or was it CSK?
Harris.
Are you sure? They
Positive.
weren't suing Schneider?
No, because it was Drag
They were
Racing Action.
They were suing
So-
Schneider.
I'm sorry, guys. It was Drag Racing Action magazine, because when I left CSK, at CSK we did Cars Illustrated, Muscle Car, High Performance Pontiac, High Performance Vet, and Cars Illustrated, and some other things, like one-shots. We did monster truck books and shit like that. And then I went across the river and I wanted to work for Harris. So when I went to Harris, I started Mopar Action magazine to compete with High Performance Mopar. I started Mustang Action magazine to compete with Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords. And we started Drag Racing. Was it Action or Illustrated? I don't remember if it was Action or Illustrated. We did like 3 or 4 issues. But it was out there. It was a national magazine. It was out on all of the newsstands. And that was to compete with Superstock and Drag Illustrated.
Nice. Voice recording goes a long way. Thank God you had that.
I kept those tapes forever.
Mm-hmm. You started Mopar Action? That's crazy awesome.
I started High Performance Mopar first. Then, 2 years later, I started Mopar Action.
Let's see. Dances with Empties sent you $5 Canadian.
Awesome, thank you. What do you think of that, Canadians.
Canadians.
I love it.
There's some good Canadians on YouTube.
Yeah, Zip Ties is a Canadian.
Zip tie. Oh yeah, he sure is. He's from way up north.
Yeah, but he's the most American motherfucker there is.
Kevin Kahn wants another shout out. He says, love the channel.
Kevin Kahn?
Kevin Kahn.
Kevin Kahn, let's say his name together.
Kevin Kahn.
Kevin?
Oh, let's go, ready?
Yeah.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kevin Kahn.
Kevin what? Con?
Kahn.
Kahn.
Con.
Yeah.
Like
Like KHAM?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Kukulkan.
And he gave you a good shout out.
we get a good show.
Nick's garage.
Oh, then,
Yeah. And then toward the end, he goes, yeah, and he sent me a bag of grease sweep, whatever it was. And we haven't had to use it yet, so. Oh, he just said, you were a good guy, and you have a YouTube channel, really good guy. He said it about 3 or 4 times. So.
well, I knew that motor we were sending them was gonna come unglued, that's why I sent the bag of Speedy Dry.
Genghis
It
Khan,
didn't
yeah,
come unglued.
Kukulkan, Genghis Khan.
I don't know how it didn't come unglued, but they sent the Speedy Dry just in case.
How do you get along with Mr. Eberg?
He doesn't like me, even a little tiny bit, don't ever mention my name around him.
Who is this?
Ehrenberg, Richard Ehrenberg.
You didn't do nothing to him.
I never did anything to him, but he just does not like me.
Let's see. It's past Buff's bedtime. Fall asleep, Buff?
I'm fine. Why do people think I'm asleep?
Goldie
I'm watching
Khan.
the lights out here go on and off. Like, what's going on over there?
Let's see.
Do those just do that by themselves?
Oh, wait, you know what?
What?
We got a copy of that magazine at the house.
Oh, do we?
With the Glynn interview.
Yeah.
Let's put that up on UncleTony'sGarage.com.
Okay, we could do that.
We haven't added anything to that page in
No.
2 years.
No. It really needs to be redone. The website needs to be
Yeah, we'll put
redone.
the interview up there. Yeah.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Because, I got a lot of time.
Yeah, the Glynn interview will be sometime this week. She'll put the Glynn interview.
Do we have it? You sure?
I know, because I saw that magazine. You know,
Okay.
you saved that stack of magazines?
Yeah.
I saw that magazine around.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had a lot of old magazines. I lived in a house, a rental, a basement. And you know what happens to basements.
They get full of.
There's ones that have flooded and there's the ones that will flood. It was one of those. Man,
You're catching Nick's
sad.
garage's sub count, only 2,000 away. Yeah, we're close to Nick, right?
2,000.
Is it?
No, I think.
What?
Where are we at right now? 162? 161 and change?
161. It's almost 162.
Yeah. Can't wait to see how Bottle Rocket does on your new space age G-Tech.
Neither can I. In fact, I went and ordered a cigarette lighter for it. Cigarette lighters. Yeah, I ordered a cigarette lighter.
Are you
for it.
serious?
Yeah.
We don't have one laying around?
No, I searched everywhere.
Did you look in the attic?
Just look at one of these
Not the
old
lighter
cars.
that you plug in, I need the port.
Just look at one of these
You
old
know,
cars.
there's the socket, the receptacle.
I know.
Yeah.
We don't have any of
Don't
those?
have any.
No, yes we do.
Don't have any.
Yes,
It
we
was only
do.
$3.
Oh,
I
all
ordered
right,
one for
okay.
$1.
You're throwing money
Just put a
around
hose
like,
clamp. No.
like your Nick's garage.
It depends on the temperature. We'll get it out there one night this week.
Standing Foot says he'd chat more, but he's packing to move. Good luck on your move. Are you coming to Tennessee?
Have you driven that car? With the rear end under?
No, I just put it together the other day. This is the
Oh,
first
I
time
didn't
it's
know
been
if
on
you
the ground.
pulled it out and took it for a spin around the building.
No, because it's been all dirty and muddy out there. I
Yeah.
won't pull the car out when it's dirty and muddy.
Buff, did you get to Guam or anywhere out of the mainland on duty?
Oh, man, I was lucky. Hawaii. I went to Hickam Air Force Base numerous times. Good place. And then the Air Force considers Alaska, although that's not out in the Pacific. So I was in Alaska for a while. No, I always wanted to go to Guam. I signed up for every time we had TDYs to Guam, I'd sign up for it, and I never got it.
Let's all chip in and get off to Guam.
Chip to
I
Guam.
don't go to Guam now.
That could
Guam
be our
now.
cause.
Rider of a Pale Horse says UTG magazine.
No, print is dead. This is
No, we
easy,
talked
man.
about putting a book together.
I know, I'm not writing a book.
I'm gonna make it happen.
That's fine. You get
I'll
some-
make it happen.
That's fine.
Does
Let's
anybody
see.
buy books anymore?
No.
They do. Yes,
Bookstores
they
all
do.
closed?
I buy books all the time. I like hard copies of stuff.
You spend all our
I
YouTube
buy
money
a
on
few-
books.
Yes, I
I
spent
buy
all.
a few books, but I'm getting old, and I'm doing this kind of stuff and trying to focus, and I got lots of light. I just go over to the computer and I get books on here.
I
on
like books
Kindle.
because they keep me from jumping around from
Well-
place to place to place, which you do on the internet. You look in one place and then you end up in someplace else. No, I like
Yeah,
a
well-
book because it keeps me.
That's why I have a Kindle, so I can
No.
read on my phone.
Yeah.
I can make the printing.
I like
look
hard
like-
copies.
Did you look under the
I'm a
dock?
Luddite.
Well, when I put the jack under it, make sure I jack the right
I
place.
painted it all nice.
I noticed it was all nice and black.
Yeah.
Ryan Coates sent you $6.99 Canadian.
Thank you.
He says, UT, I replaced my ballast resistor, but my car still doesn't run. Just starts, but immediately dies. Any
Ignition switch.
ideas on what to check next? 78 New Yorker.
Yeah.
You don't have any power coming to the ballast resistor.
No.
It could be the key switch.
Yeah, the key switch. Yeah, I mean, obviously, check the bulkhead connector, you know, and
Just
make,
start moving in, yeah.
yeah, check the bulkhead connector, you know, for the ignition wires, but more than likely, it's the ignition switch. It's the contact is working in the start position, but not in the run position.
Jamon 1123 says, Tony,
Yeah,
this might be a dumb question, but does a 1970 Dart instrument cluster with the old school speedo fit in a 7274? Might have my years off.
the frame is different. It'll fit 70-71, and then they went to the Plymouth style dash frame, the Valiant style dash frame in 72. It's first year for that. So no, the dash frame itself is different.
Let's see. UTG biography, New York Times bestseller.
After I'm
See?
dead. After
No,
I'm dead.
who's gonna write it after you're dead?
I don't care.
No,
I'll be
it's
dead.
stop it. Books rule, but get oil stains. Yeah.
Oh my God. You ever have motors auto repair manuals?
Sure.
Yeah, mine are all greasy and
Yeah.
some of them smell bad.
Those books got used to the point you couldn't read, all the important pages you couldn't read because they were always covered with greasy handprints and,
When I was 6 years old, 6th birthday, I got my first library card. I couldn't wait. And my mother took me to the library, and we had a neighbor that was a librarian. So I said, do I want a card book? And she took me in where children's books are, and these books of cars look like they're smiling at you,
Right,
and shit. And I'm like, no, I want to know how they work. She goes, come with me. We walk back and down some aisle, and she pulls out a motor's auto repair manual, and I open up, I see the engines. I cut away, I go, yeah, that's what I want.
You guys want a
Oh,
biography?
That's what I always got.
They
Then
want a
my father-
biography, Tony.
My father used to read to us when we go to bed. So, go to bed, you know, and so he's gonna read to us. I said, here, can you read this? And I open up the auto repair manual, he goes, you gotta be kidding. You know? And he read to me how to take the engine out of a Hudson. And I was so happy.
disconnect the negative battery.
Oh, yeah, that's where it started, too. Oh, yeah. And I remember it dropped at the bottom. Man,
They want a biography.
No,
biography.
no biography. Wait till I'm dead.
Tony, you can't write a biography. No, that's a
an
biography.
autobiography.
Yeah,
Anybody can
autobiography,
write a
you do
biography.
yourself.
Well,
Anyone
so-
can write a
so
biography.
somebody write it. I really.
Somebody write it.
And you sign it.
I'll agree to whatever you put in it. I'm
Really?
Wait a minute, what if somebody like Brian Cabal writes it? You
That's
know?
fine. That's fine. I make money from him.
He keeps making your name longer. It was Uncle Tony, and then it was, I don't remember, something Bottle Rocket. Now he's Uncle Pimple Popper, something Bottle Rocket. You should have
What?
taken this long. Yeah, it's UPPP. It's crazy.
I love that guy. That's fucking awesome. I gotta watch his videos.
Oh, God.
I gotta catch up. I haven't seen any of his videos probably in about a month, but
He always says he tells the truth, and he's 100% truthful, and he tells the story how you took this car to bring it in here, and it was out back here, which it wasn't, it was at your house.
well, it was out back there for.
Well, he said
For a
you
couple
went back
days.
there
Yeah.
and installed an engine in it so you could drive to the front of the shop, and then you took the engine out of it to put the other engine in it.
He's
And I'm like,
delusional. The
who
man
is
is
he,
delusional.
nuts?
He needs medication.
Somebody would do that, and he's telling how stupid you were to put an engine in a car to drive it around the other side of the building.
Why would I put it in there?
Right, I know. And he says all he ever did to that thing was took the headlights out and put STP stickers on it. What the, he tells the truth? That's a whole story.
He's a little money.
He's a
A
little.
little? Ride a repel horse. It's Kathy. Let's see. Baby bottle rocket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a baby pimple popper
He
bottle rocket.
so he needs help. UTG cookbook. We could do that one.
Yeah,
I can do
UTG
that one by
cookbook.
myself.
He's getting us views though.
Is he?
How?
I don't know.
If he's doing a channel and he's talking about us, he's getting us views. We're getting paid for that.
He doesn't have
Joe
one.
Jackson says he's a
Doesn't
mental
have one.
case, repeats the same hate over and over. Yeah, he's delusional. He has no idea what he's talking about. Ryan Coates says, I would totally get a UTG cookbook. I'll do it.
You know,
All of UTG's favorite wrenching foods.
oh God.
That could be pretty tasty, I gotta
It
tell you.
could be, yeah. Cooking
You got
with
a little
nitro.
chocolate, you got a torch under it, you're frying something on top.
We eat like humans, please.
We eat pretty good, actually. We don't eat junk food too much.
Oh God.
We don't eat,
I've been eating a lot of frozen pizzas lately,
well, yeah, frozen pizza for lunch because we're so busy.
but I don't do anything.
No, right, you don't do anything except put motors in to drive a car around to the side.
You don't eat shop food.
No.
Take 2 nails through a piece of wood, you stick a hot dog over it, you plug it in, and it'll steam like crazy and it's ready like in seconds.
Yeah,
You don't do that shit?
Mitten Made Muscle says, I'd buy a UTG cookbook, been wanting some good Italian recipes. I could throw that together in like a month.
Your chicken marsala is
Yeah,
off the
chicken
chain.
marsala's off the chain.
I was in England, working in a shop there, and I was kind of a guest there, but I was working with these guys.
Thank you, Fubar.
And I was gonna make a hot dog cooker for them, but everything in England is 220, and that's why I wanted to do it. But I decided to throw me out, so I didn't do it.
John Wilbur wants to know, do you thaw the pizza before eating? Yeah.
You said
Barely.
frozen, you said you eat frozen pizzas.
I
puts
had,
them
Or you
in the
eat them
oven.
after they're heated.
Yeah.
what happened was, even before this COVID thing,
What's up, Chris?
right?
Mm-hmm.
This bullshit COVID thing, we decided, because we were eating out every night, right?
Yeah,
And we decided.
Because we
no.
were busy and it was
Yeah, we're
easier
busy.
for us to like,
that's what happens when you get busy.
yeah.
So this was actually about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before. the
No, at least a
lockdown.
month.
About a month before.
Yeah,
the
at least
lockdown.
a month.
So we said, you know what? That's it. No more eating out.
Yeah.
Okay? We're gonna eat in the house, we're gonna eat healthy, right? So we went and filled up, our freezer had stuff in there from like the 70s.
Oh, I hate that.
So, yeah, there was actually like mastodon stuff in there, you know what I mean? It was big.
Where that
So-
all-
So we cleared out the freezer, we filled it, we went food shopping and just packed it, right? And started eating healthy out of the house. And then, like clockwork, this fucking COVID bullshit had lockdown happened, right?
Yeah, now you can't go to the grocery store.
That is, we go to the grocery
Oh,
store,
but there's nothing
there
there.
was no restaurants.
Oh, okay.
So we just got into the habit now of eating at the house. Now we got the freezer full, we went and bought another freezer, so we filled that thing, and so it's like, now I eat out of the house. But so I come here, I get up 5 o'clock in the morning, every morning, right? Sometimes even earlier than that. And I come here, right? And I work until around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Then I go home, I'm hungry, I gotta eat something, quick.
That's what happens to me. I want to eat quick,
Right.
but I gotta cook. It's like those two things don't go together.
No, they
Well, I throw
don't.
frozen pizza in there, 10 minutes, you know,
Oh, okay.
and it's got chicken pot pies. I eat a ton of chicken pot pies. And then I take my siesta, and then I hang out for a bit, and then I come back here.
Red
And do
lunch.
nothing.
Yes.
And do absolutely nothing. I just sit and look at,
That's what
Right.
happens after I eat. Things slow down after I eat.
well, every day I take a power nap. I eat, you know, have my lunch, and then I go crash for an hour or two.
Okay.
You know, it resets everything, and I'm ready to go for the night shift.
Redline sent you $5.49 Canadian.
Thank you.
UT, you ever do anything fun with Dawson's?
Number what?
Dotson's,
Dots.
Nissans, Dotsons. You people asked if I ever had a Japanese car before, and yeah, I had a 240Z for a short period of time, just a couple of weeks. Well, maybe I had a couple of those cars. Actually, I think I had a couple of those cars, but we're talking about like
In the 80s.
in the 80s, like the
That's
early
Crafton
80s.
Avenue.
I never
Remember, we had the brown one.
The brown one, I
Right,
remember.
and then before that, before I met you, I had a green one.
Okay,
I
yeah.
had a 240, and then the one I had when you were around was a 260.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun car.
Yeah,
Those are
it was.
fun cars. You know what I do? When I had the radiator shop, I built radiators for guys that put small block Chevys in and set them up.
I
I never had one.
06.
I never had one. Oh, sixes are nice.
That thing was magic.
Hey Yo says, Drive It Like You Hate It is the best thing I've ever read in a car magazine.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember it?
Drive it like you stole it.
Driver like you stole it.
No, Drive It Like You Hate It, you wrote it.
I
You wrote that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wrote so many freaking things.
Will you be eating the chickens? No.
No, I love my chickens.
Yeah, there are pets.
How come? And I'm like this with fish. I don't like pulling a fish out of the water and they die and everything. Then it just spoils the whole thing. But I'll go to the store and buy all the fish
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like and I'll eat it.
Yeah, I don't have the heart for it.
And same thing with animals, you know?
See, I could kill people, I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Yeah, we
But
answer
you
questions,
eat people,
Austin.
eat people, you're gonna, now you're,
No, I didn't say we eat people. Although, I mean, if I was really hungry, if I had to go out food for, let's say, 2-3 days and had to eat somebody, yeah, I'd do that.
oh jeez.
It wouldn't bother me.
Chase wants to know, when's the 400 video coming? I'm begging for that one.
400 video.
Well, you've done one on the 383. He wants to know
Well,
about 400.
yeah, let me give it a little break. I don't want to overdo. See, that's why we got to keep bouncing from topic to topic because some people love the build stuff, some people love the history stuff, some people love the technical stuff, some people. So it's like, and then the personality stuff. So that's why we have to bounce around and do as many different videos and as many different cars and shit like that as we do because we have a big audience and it's broken into.
Well, you're
like-
trying to do it like a magazine with
We're
different
trying to do that. It's trying
Yeah.
to do like a magazine.
features.
So, I probably won't do anything big block Mopar related, other than like the actual, like,
The 383.
build stuff on this motor. I probably won't do anything else history, big block Mopar related for a month or two.
Ethan, when the chickens die, we'll bury them. We won't eat them.
Oh, I love my chickens.
Yeah, we can't eat them. They
I
have
agree,
names.
yeah.
They're our pets.
Yeah, I can't raise animals and eat them.
Mm-mm.
I don't
Did I
have,
tell you this story? The woman I know is Filipino. She went home for her father's birthday. He's 91 years old. And I know they're poor. And she bought a goat and brought it home and cooked it. And I said, how'd you get the goat home? She goes, well, it walked.
yeah.
I said, you know, if I walked home with a goat, that goat would be my
It would be
friend.
my
Right,
best friend.
That would be
exactly.
my friend from that moment on.
Yeah, we
I'm
eat their
telling you, I'm
eggs.
the same way. I would have no, I'm telling you, like in a conflict situation, I have no problem killing a person.
Tony,
No, I'm serious. I would
well,
no
if someone
problem at all.
attacks
Like a
you,
horse.
I look
yeah,
forward to it, actually.
somebody attacks you.
But if an animal, I could do it, I just don't have the fucking heart. I'm not saying it's bad.
These animals aren't evil.
I
Some
just
people
can't
can be
do
evil.
it, right, exactly.
What is Uncle Tony's thoughts on the LA 3.9 liter V6?
They don't work very well.
Why not?
I had a Dakota with one of those. I don't know. They don't work nearly as well as the Buick motors, like the GM motors. The GM mastered the V6 thing. Let's say went to that on-fire deal.
You mean the 3.8? Or no?
3800.
Yeah, the 38 thing. Yeah, okay, 38.
Well, no, the 3.8 is even fire. The 3800 is on fire.
I thought they were the same engine.
No, they're two different. It's the same basic architecture, but they split the crank throw and called it 3800.
I know there was the one that had the weird crank.
But the 3.9, I had a red. I don't remember the years. Like when I was doing the used cars with Poston,
Mm-hmm.
I had that thing for a week or two.
Yeah, it was in a good truck.
It was a stone. I worked on this thing to like, you know, gotta make it run right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. It had good compression. Everything, you know, mechanically, it spec'd out exactly what it was supposed to. But it just, it drank gas. I mean, this thing, it was a little short bed, you know, a single cab Dakota. And I remember it got like 11 miles to the gallon, no matter what you did with this thing. And
How much did that truck weigh?
next to nothing. The motor had no power and it was always working hard. I mean, I'm sure, I know that when they went to the Magnum, that was a TBI motor. I know when they went to the Magnum, they picked up some, but I've never heard anybody like sing the praises of the
See, I always
Yeah,
thought about that
46.
engine. Because, you know, there's small cars, 4 cylinders in them. And you kind of have a hard time putting V8 in, there's no room. Like an old Datsun pickup or something. And I always thought that would be a great engine for that, but maybe not.
I've never heard anybody talk highly of it. You know, and I only had the experience with the one, and it was a pig.
I had a friend had a old Dodge, no, he had a Datsun pickup, and we put a 273 in it. And, you know, it's long. We had a hell of a time with that. We cut the firewall and moved the radiator. It just wasn't a fun project. So I always thought the V6 would be good,
Yeah.
but I guess not.
What's up, Olive?
There were much better V6 choices out there.
Like the 3800.
I had the 3800.
You say water or coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee, water. Coffee,
Water.
water, coffee. Water? Do I say, people made fun of me. I asked when I first moved here, I was at a football game for the kids, because our kids played football. They were sports kids. And we were at the high school, and I went to the stand, and I was like, can I get a bottle of water? And the girl behind the counter goes, she wants a water. And they started laughing at me, and I was like, oh my God, where did I just
You thought
move?
that everybody was like out to get you.
Well, they were.
No,
She wants a water.
They were playing with you.
They're interpreting.
Yeah.
I have a friend from Massachusetts when I was a kid, but he grew up in California, but his parents are really Massachusetts, you know. And the father was rebuilding the engine on an old Ford Falcon, and he goes, hey, do you have a torque wrench? What? Torque wrench? My friend Dave goes, you know, one that talks.
A torque wrench?
Torque wrench.
Yeah, well, if you're from New York, it's not. Doesn't sound like Boston. Man, they got an accent.
Let's see. Matt says, I got an 87 Dakota 3.92 barrel with the Mopar electronic ignition kit. Woke it up a little mild, ported heads and intake decent exhaust with a 355 gear. Runs pretty decent, a little peppy.
Okay.
That's good.
I guess I had a bad experience with it. I mean, I it was, I guess it was a pre-Magnum motor, but, I mean, your results may vary. I threw every side, I got the oxygen, says, oh, it's gotta be easy. And I changed everything and tested everything, and I could not get that thing to come around.
But you never had one on an engine stand that built it.
No,
And that would probably make a hell of a
no, but
difference.
it's built 10,000 318s, so it's
Yeah.
like,
Thank you, Don and Wendy. Let's see. Benjamin
Really?
says, Maine accent is crazy. I have a hard time understanding them. Maine? Is
The
Maine?
what?
Maine accent?
Oh, Maine accent. Yeah, it's not as bad as Boston, but
Boston.
it's similar. I don't know.
We need another marathon. Do it for the shelter. Oh.
Oh my God.
No, we can't do marathons again.
Yeah, the last
Oh,
marathon.
that
you
was
did,
terrible.
You
We had COVID.
had COVID, but you didn't know it because they didn't call it that yet.
Right.
They called it the crud.
it was bad, that was
We
really
were
bad.
very, very sick
I was very, very, very sick.
for a long
I
time.
remember you got
I didn't know how we didn't
talking and there's no
die.
noise coming out.
You know what? I want to do a marathon. I
Oh.
want to see how far I can go with this. I'm a manic extremist, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, anything worth
Yeah,
doing
but our
is worth
marathons
doing to
don't
wretched
work.
excess.
It's too hard to talk for that long. You know, when we stop doing this live tonight, we'll ride home in silence.
Yeah,
And then tomorrow, Monday is my quiet day. I don't speak.
Do it in shifts. Like these people that do hunger strikes, and they do it in shifts, like one of them does a hunger strike
That
for
doesn't
3 or
really
4
count.
hours, and then they switch, now this one can go eat, and yeah, you could do that.
Will you have a UTG Thanksgiving special?
Yeah, there you go.
Thanksgiving special?
what? Excuse me.
What could you
I,
do?
I want to do another marathon. I
Oh,
want to
boy.
see how far I can go.
Why? Because then you're shot. Last time you couldn't make videos for 2 weeks because you had no voice. Remember?
But that was because we had COVID.
Right. We had COVID. Boy, that's not even funny. We were like deathly
Well,
ill.
you guys look bad.
We were really bad. Tony went to the doctor, and Tony never goes to the doctor. He's like, we have to go to the doctor.
The only, I mean, I've seen plenty of doctors, but it was always on an ambulance ride, like the end of an ambulance
Oh,
ride.
God.
This was the first time I can think of in my adult life, I actually went to a doctor on my own, you know, my own mobility. I was so jacked up, I couldn't drive.
Yeah.
Like, I have vertigo, right? Which is one of the reasons why I shouldn't be in race cars. I have vertigo, really bad vertigo. And it was so bad during that I had to have Uncle Kathy drive me around. Like for 2-3 days, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't walk in a straight line.
Yep.
Like I would
It
get
was
up,
very bad.
I'd get up and try to walk, and I would go like 3 steps.
Like he
and
was
then,
drunk,
like,
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You should get that checked, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, his vertigo gets really bad.
It gets bad in faster cars, like you know, like an 11 or like a 12, 13 second car is no problem at all. But once you start going faster than that, like I'm okay for like making it to the finish line, and then like then I'm looking around like, okay, am I still in the middle of the track? You know what I mean? Am I still in the lane? Where's the shut off?
Feel like you're spinning or something?
Yeah,
spin
it's
the other direction.
unusual.
He can't climb ladders
I
either.
can't climb ladders.
Oh, I'm terrible on ladder or on a roof. Hate it.
When I drove the fuel car, that was really bad. Because as soon, even on the burnout, you know what I mean? And it wasn't the burnout itself, it was like the end of the burnout, when the tires, because as you back off the throttle on the burnout, the tires will start to grab, and when they grab, they throw you back like that. You know, like, and my head will start going like this. Like, oh, fuck.
426 Biggie says inner ear pressure, blood supposedly. You should go to an ear doctor, and I bet you they can help you with it. Because it really does affect you badly sometimes.
It does.
But you've had it forever.
I got a question about fuel cars.
Yeah.
You know, they used to sit back behind the tires.
Yeah.
And then they became the
Rear engine car.
rear engine cars.
Technically mid-engine.
Mid-engine, right. And the front wheels used to be like way out here, and now they kept getting, now they're like really close. What's going on? What's the reason for that? That looks so unstable to me, but.
No, it's stable. That was the period of time when that evolution took place. That's when I was involved in Top Fuel.
Okay.
And the purpose of that, right? Listen to this one, okay? And a lot of people don't realize this about these cars. The way the wings are set up, the way the nose of the car is set up, and the way the back wing is set up, and where they're set up, is actually to make the car disappear. The front, once you're let's say 100 foot out, okay, and the car is doing 125, 130 miles an hour, right? The air that hits the front section of the car goes over the car and
You don't want
lands-
to take the car.
Listen, the air gets kicked up
Okay.
over the front of the car
Okay.
and lands on the wing. Okay? So what's happening is, as the car is going forward, it's creating pressure bubble.
It's creating a bubble for itself.
It's creating a bubble for itself.
Okay.
And they're designed so that the frontal area, the shape of the front of the car, kicks the air up over the car like this, and it lands back on the wing and pushes directly down on the wing.
Okay.
That's why the cars are contoured the way they are.
But then frame got narrower and narrower and narrower.
Yeah. Because
Because it was enough.
it's directing the air.
It was still enough to get it over the.
Do you know a guy in Murfreesboro with a gold Cuda drag car? Gold Cuda.
Not offhand.
No, me neither. The answer is no. Can you put a mechanical fuel pump with a carb and performer intake on an LT1C4?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else to know? Is the clutch flight any good, and how does it work? Someone's telling me about it.
Today we have trans brakes. It's really, it's that simple. Back before trans brakes, you used the clutch flight to eliminate, the cushion that would be the torque converter. Now, you're bringing the motor up against the converter, you're locking it with the trans brake and letting it go all at once. So you're getting the same sudden lead, the same sudden hit on the tire. That was the whole purpose of the clutch flight, was to give just a sudden direct hit on the tire. They're not good, there's not a lot of longevity to those things, because just the way the torque flight is designed, it's not designed to have a shock load pass through. So you're much better off, if you're looking for that kind of hit, you're much better off with a trans brake.
Yeah?
And it's already loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is the clutch flight a neutral drop on the converter?
There is no converter.
Okay.
A clutch flight, for those who don't know, a clutch flight is where they would take a 727 transmission and cut the bell housing off and use a regular flywheel and clutch assembly splined to the input shaft of the transmission. And then they would also use an external pump, because when you do a clutch flight, you're eliminating the front pump of the transmission. So you would use, some used a, sorry about that, that was the clutch turbos. On the clutch flight, they used a thing that had two fingers that would stick out from the pump and engage the fingers on the clutch, and that's how they run the pump on those things. But I mean, that's technology from,
What, 1950s or 60s?
well, it's the late 60s, early 70s.
John Wilbur wants to know, Tony, you want to break in this 904?
Do you want to break it in?
No, you want a break in this 904.
Geez, I don't know, John. We'll talk about that. John is building the 904, but we're gonna use my slant six car over here.
Okay.
I like all those lightning holes.
I love-
Looks like an aircraft.
Did you ever see the trunk on this car?
Good night, crony.
Probably not.
The trunk is my favorite part of the car.
Which,
This one.
oh, am I getting up? I'm moving.
What?
Hang on, wait for me. Wait for me. I gotta get my battery back so I can move.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
Are you good now?
Yeah, okay.
Ready for the opening.
The grand opening.
Oh, it's more than an opening. It's a removal.
Look at the trunk.
Yeah, there's
There's no trunk.
well, there's a trunk, there's no floor. And it's white.
It's
Look at
white.
this over here. The whole thing is just missing.
That's where there was no car.
Yeah, the trunk is my favorite part of this car.
Wow, that decklet is sure floppy.
You know, place a few pins.
How much does that car weigh?
2,080 something pounds, but it'll be 60 pounds lighter with the new motor, and it'll probably be about 10 pounds lighter with the torque flight, with the automatic that's going in. It's got a stick in it right now.
Why is the engine gonna be lighter? You taking weight off the cast iron or you use aluminum head or something?
The engine that's in there now is just a mule that I stuck in the car to get it running.
The other day, so
Yeah,
you can
we-
pull it in,
When
yeah.
you drove it around the side of the door.
The motor that's in the car now is one that I just slammed together when we built this car 5 years ago. 6 years ago? I don't know, I don't even know how long ago it was. Just to get the car running and get it, get it going. But it's the heavy block, it's like the early block, it's the heavy crank. I didn't take any weight off of that stuff. So the motor that we're using that's going in there now is the lighter block, the lighter crank. The crank itself, this block starts out 18 pounds lighter than the one that's in there, and the crank is 22 pounds lighter.
And this is the one you were taking weight off of?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you also took
I
some
took
weight
a
off.
ton of weight off of it.
Dances with Empty sent you $5 Canadian. It
Thank
says,
you.
how's it going?
It's going good.
It's been a while since I've been to Canada. Man,
Good night, Hayo.
I can't get in there now.
Good night, Benjamin. Everybody's getting tired,
Well, it's
Tony.
because of the,
I'm getting tired too.
Are you?
getting tired?
Yeah, well, it's an hour different now.
My phone's.
It's an hour later than it actually is.
Yeah, right,
It's an
yeah.
hour later than it actually is.
Well,
We did the clocks last night.
So if it says 9 o'clock there, what time does it say?
My God, my friend Carl, he was watching during a pizza thing.
Oh, yeah.
He says, pizza, yeah, your hands get clean and you end up full. That's good.
340 watching, 175 likes.
Nice.
Nice. I'm not tired. Metal
Yeah.
Wolf says I'm not tired.
You'd have to know Carl.
Ryan wants to know if we've ever been to Canada. I have,
I
Yeah.
have,
yes. Everyone's been to
many
Canada.
times, been in the
Me
western
too.
part and been in the eastern part, but not in the middle. And not in the very northern part where I really.
I was there with Dale Borlett. with his car. Dale Bartlett was the guy that owned Predator carburetors. People always say, oh, you ever use a Predator? You ever use a Predator? Yeah, I actually worked for the guy who owned Predator with his fuel car. And actually, I got him qualified. He was known as the ultimate leaker. This is a guy who nearly burned to death. I can't tell you how many times. I started working for him. He was in the fucking burn unit, okay? He was in the burn unit for like 8 months. They had to rebuild his entire, he had a fire, okay?
A thermal event.
He had a thermal event.
That's what they're calling now, a thermal event.
He had a thermal event. It was,
BMW, they said their electric cars had a thermal event, and they're all recalled.
well, he had a really severe thermal event, right? It was so bad. They left him in the car, they thought he was dead, right? This was a fire he had in English.
Oh my God, they thought he's dead and they left him there.
You can actually see this fire. It's on main event video. They used it in all their promos stuff. So, then this is before I started working for them. I was still with Caminito or like, I was with somebody, right? So, but I was there for this fire, right? I was there with another car. And he was in there for so long, motionless, and the car was so involved, they thought he was dead, okay? They dragged the car with him in it. They finally got the fire out. They dragged the car with him in it over to the side. And they were starting to they were getting ready to pull the body out when he starts moving. So they went and they pulled him out of the car. They took him by the shoulders, and all of the skin from the back of his head to his fucking ankles stayed in the car.
Oh,
Oh, it was brutal, right? So he was in the burn unit for like fucking 6 months, 8 months, whatever it was. And I started working for him just as he got out, and I built the car for him, or rebuilt the car for him. And so we went to Canada, we went to Saint Air, and it was the Molson Grand Nationals, whatever it was. And now he was the most miserable motherfucker. I hope you're watching.
Tony.
What? I hope you're watching.
Be nice.
Right? Okay?
Be nice.
Because it's like 30 years later, I still hold a grudge. So I put this whole car together, right? And I got him qualified for the first race. We qualified, there were 17 cars on the ground, and we qualified 15th, okay? Which was, you gotta understand now, this is Dale Bartlett, the ultimate leaker. The ultimate leaker. This guy never, ever got to half track without something exploding, right? I got him qualified. We made 4 clean qualifying runs, okay? Got him in the fucking show. And he was just this miserable bastard, just a miserable bastard, right? And what?
Nothing, I didn't say anything.
So first run, we got Dale crazy, okay? First round, we got Dale crazy. And we had him, okay? We had him. We beat him to the stripe, okay? But at he overdrove. He drove over his head. I don't think he had ever gone that far that fast before. And he went over his head, and he clipped the cone. And we had Crazy's car by like half a car, okay? So as they were going through the lights, he come over on the center line, he kicked the cone hit Crazy's car, right? And it broke the body. And Dale was fanatical about his car. Like his car was, you know what I mean? You know, pristine.
Had to be
always pristine, right? So afterwards, right? He's all pissed, and I says, "We'll take care of it," you know, because Dale used to help me with like tuning ideas and stuff like that, right? So I walked over to him and I said, "Sorry about that, man. You know, it just happens, right?" So Bartlett refused to pay for it. So I had Dale bring the body to my guy in New Jersey, Dave Sano, and Dave Sano fixed it, and I paid for it, just to keep everything good. But anyway, make a long story short, at that race, at the end of the race, Nick Bonifant, who was like the godfather of East Coast Nitro racing. He booked all the shows. He was a promoter. He did right, and he ran his cars. He had a race or a Vestas sponsorship back then. After the race, okay, Nick comes up to me, he shakes, he sticks out his hand, and he goes like this. He says, congratulations. He says, what? He says, you did the impossible. You got Dale Bartlett qualified in a race, and you actually, I saw what happened with the cone, right? He says, you actually got him to win a round. He says, if you want work, I'll get it for you. And so I says, yeah, man, do it. And that was the beginning of, from that point on, I was a paid nitro guy. I worked
So are those
for,
carburetors any good?
you know, I played with it, but I never.
It worked.
They did their thing.
Cherokee Vapor says, I'm working on a 66 Plymouth Barracuda, thinking about using a 2001 318 engine. What issues should I think about?
Say that one more time.
I'm working on a 66 Barracuda,
Barracuda.
thinking about using a 2001 318 engine.
Okay.
What issues should I think about?
That's a roller engine, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's a magnet.
Okay.
Yeah. You won't have any problems at all, man. That's the perfect engine for that car.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. George K says, greetings from Australia. Much respect for your knowledge, Uncle Tony. I'm building an LA 360 small block, and it has 11 5-to-1 compression with ported J-heads. What camshaft would you suggest? Cheers.
I can't make a camshaft suggestion because there's so many variables. The weight of the car, the converter, the gearing, the tires, the intended use. There's no way I can make a recommendation as to what kind of cam you would use. You want to take all of that information, everything, all of the details, carburetor you're going to use, intended, the RPM range of the motor, what you want it to do. You have to take all of that information and call a cam grinder. The guys at Comp Cams are very helpful.
Yeah, who's in Australia? I don't even know.
Yeah, call a cam grinder. Give Hughes a call, and get a couple of recommendations like that. I wish I could give you something more substantial than that.
Project Thunderbird says, hey Tony, I replaced the choke pull-off on my Toronado, but it's still throwing soot. I tried to adjust the choke, but it stays completely shut. Rochester Quadrajet 4MB, when cold. What else can I do?
You change the pull-off, but it still stays completely shut?
I replaced the choke pull-off on my Toronado, but it's still throwing bleh, can't talk. Soot. Thank you.
Well, you changed it, but that doesn't mean that you adjusted it.
He says, I tried to adjust the choke, but it stays completely shut
Oh. Okay,
when cold.
all right, yeah, okay, so you change the pull-off. Here's what you do, right? With the engine cold, okay? The engine cold, take the pull-off, right, the diaphragm part of the pull-off, and pull it all the way in, as if the vacuum is pulling it. Or if you have a vacuum pump, hook a vacuum pump to it, and pull the diaphragm all the way in on the pull-off. Now, if it doesn't open the choke, and it should open the choke about a quarter of an inch or thereabouts, if it doesn't open the choke, you need to bend that rod that goes to it. If you look at the rod, okay, the rod is going to go from the diaphragm, and it's going to go straight out of the diaphragm, and it's going to go loop like that, and then it's going to go to the choke. You want to squeeze that bend to shorten it, and that'll pull the choke open for you.
Jupiter Mustang Mike says, put a black nylon comb in the carb.
Or what?
A black nylon comb in the carb?
Okay.
I don't know. You might have to replace the drive shaft.
Did you ever run around with a choke?
Of course.
Yeah, that's what I always did.
Yeah, my car's
Of course, I was going to ask you, because you're in New York and it was much colder, and I was in Southern California. I never had a choke. I just 3 or 4 shots, and boom, when it would start up, and then you just feather it a little, and it was fine.
On hot rods, I've never had chokes.
Yeah, me neither.
But I mean, like a daily driver type of car, yeah. I just
Oh, like if I bought a newer car, yeah, I just left it alone. And it worked.
Let's see. Also got to make sure any hot air tubes are plumbed as designed, both engine inlet air and small one to the choke housing.
Hey, I think we need to wrap it up.
You tired?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm wide awake, but
Are you really? You can keep going.
that's all right. No, I got to drive home, and
Would you consider doing a before and after Test on the Power Blast plate for the Holly carbs.
What?
I don't have one.
You don't
I
have?
mean, if I had one, but I don't have one.
John Wilburn says, sometimes I think the commenters are watching other streams when they comment on this one. Sometimes. It's hard sometimes because people are talking to each other. So I'm going through the comments,
Yep.
looking for questions. And it's hard because people are talking to one another.
Yeah, like they're watching Vice Grip, but they're commenting.
Right?
It's great.
How often do we go live? Every Sunday night.
Every Sunday night.
Roll up your windows, Tony.
7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
7-ish.
7-ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
We're not really punctual.
Sometimes we're running late.
Sometimes we
you
just
start
don't care.
tonight? I don't even know what
I
time
don't
it
know what
started.
time we started.
Because I was always screwing around with
Andrew Mills sent $5. Love the channel.
Thank you, Andrew.
the scales.
All right, let's pack it in.
All right.
That's
It's
it.
gonna be
Okay.
cold. It's starting to get cold.
No,
It's
don't be
starting to
sorry, Jim Douglas. It's okay. I'm glad you guys talk to one another. That's good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. It's just part of going through the comments.
Yeah, she just has to weed through.
Yeah, I
them
gotta
to
weed
see
through
which
things.
is- Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, by all means, talk to each other.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm amazed you can do that.
What?
Do as well as you do with the comments.
Yeah,
I get over there and try to fill in for you.
Oh, you're like that case. when
It's
you-
terrible. It's terrible. I don't know how you do that,
I don't know.
but you do it.
So, yeah, we
Thank
gotta-
you so much,
we got
guys.
Cars we gotta push in and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Pushmobiles.
And we're gonna make the UTG cookbook,
We could, we might.
and we have new merch coming tomorrow.
We have new merch coming tomorrow,
Yep.
and Uncle Crystal's got merch.
Uncle
Coming.
Crystal's got merch coming.
Now remember, guys, we do this other channel called Ask Uncle Tony, and we do that with Uncle Crystal, my daughter-in-law. And so we've got that going too. We've got new merch coming. Buff, you need merch.
You know what I want?
What?
I want a UTG sweatshirt. It's getting cold and that's sweatshirt weather.
Sweatshirts.
And all I have is t-shirts.
Oh,
See, I have this one and I have a couple others, but not many. 'Cause I was in Arizona where it was hot.
Yeah.
So now I'm here, you know, got this sweatshirt, one that says Alaska, and a couple of Arizona ones. But that's it, you know.
we'll think
I want
about
a
that.
UTG. Well, I could buy a black sweatshirt.
You could.
said you
I
do
can
the
print
silk-
it, yeah.
She,
You
can
do
do,
the silk
she
screen?
does silk screening, yeah.
Yeah, I can print it.
So that's it, guys. We're gonna wrap it up.
Thank you so much, everybody.
John Wilburn,
Check out John Wilburn's channel.
yeah, absolutely, John Wilburn's channel. He's building that dart, the sport. Fubar, thank you, Fubar. Ari, or not Ari, well, Ari's not here.
Ari's
tonight.
not here tonight,
Ari's
but
not
Zero's
tonight.
here.
Zero.
But Zero's here, our new mod
Our new
Zero.
mod Zero.
Zero, you won.
You won.
Yeah,
He always wins.
and he always wins. Right? And that's it. Thank you to everybody who contributed. Thank you everybody who just joined us. You know, we love hanging out.
Yeah, thanks
with
for
you guys.
hanging out with us,
You know,
putting up
and,
with us.
Yeah, that's it. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you
Have a
tomorrow.
great week, guys.